I do appreciate how all of you manage to be these like international individuals, you know? Like y'all care about things that are happening in the world, and you consume all this media that is not yours. You don't have to if you don't want to, right? Like I know that we're right there and we're very loud about it, but if you wanted to put the Sony XM4s on, you could, you know? But y'all keep up with your politics and our politics. We don't even do that. It's pretty wild. Like I'm sure y'all have seen Mitch McConnell freezing up. If you don't know who Mitch McConnell is, he is the leader of the Republican Party in the States. He's the full-time leader of the Republicans in the Senate, and he's a part-time mime. And I know you're wondering, you're like, how is this happening? We're wondering the same thing. How is this happening? How is this? This is crazy. He's not by himself. Biden's hella old. Trump is hella old. You know, Dianne Feinstein's hella old. We just keep letting older and older people stay in power, and we don't even really know why. I think that mainly there's something to be said for like how fearful Americans are. And so if there's anyone that can offer us any form of stability, we'll take it from them, you know? And that's what you get. You get people who serve 19 terms and everything. Came in. The fact that this man froze while they were asking if he was going to run for re-election, I think that was God answering for him. That's crazy. If you didn't see the video, basically they're like, would you be running for re-election? And then he went, huh. He looked, for a split second, he looked just like Jim from The Office. He was like... And then his aide walked up and they were like, did you hear him? It's like, hearing's not the problem, ma'am. You know? And there are some people that are like, oh, leave him alone. He's an old man. It's like, all right, well, just because you're old doesn't... Being old isn't a virtue. He was shitty all the way up until then, so... Do you know what I mean? And look, I hope... How do I word this? I hope he's able to maintain his health as well as the first responders from 9/11 that he voted against funding are able to maintain theirs. You know, like I think that it's weird. It's an odd thing. It's every time he freezes, he looks like he looks like he's seeing. It looks like he's seeing all the black people he ever tried to stop from voting. Like it's like they're just in the room with him. He's like, huh. That is a lot. I know you're wondering, how did this happen? How did we get here? How do we end up staying here? Because he's not the only one. I'm not even picking on Republicans, really. There's old Democrats. There's Democrats that you're like, how is this the person? Surely someone else believes what they believe and is like able. Do you know what I mean? Surely, right? And I don't think that the U.S. is just a fearful country. I think that we have this reputation. They talk about how baseball is the great American pastime, but it's not. It isn't. the great American pastime is arguing. We love to argue so much, a lot of people want to redo the Civil War. Like, that's how much we love to argue. And it's not about the candidate. There's nothing so special about McConnell. There's nothing so special about Biden or Trump that they keep being in the position that they're in. It's that we like to argue so much that we do not pay attention until it's too late, right? It doesn't matter, Biden, Trump, whatever. Throw all that stuff out there. You could put one party's candidate as a tomato and one party's candidate as a potato, and we'll still have it out. As dumb as that is, we would still be like, well, I do like potatoes, though. You know? But we don't know. We're very unsure as a group of people, you know? You watch I'm sure it's terrifying for y'all, because y'all are so close. Like this, you as Canadians must feel how I felt when I lived next door to a drug dealer. Had nothing to do with me. It was none of my business. But I don't know. You'd hear stuff through the wall, and you're like, am I in danger? Like, you even watch from afar the shootings that we have, the school shootings that we have. And it's genuinely terrifying. It's terrifying for us, you know? And so many of them happen that there's no keeping up. Like, just within, a week of each other, there was a shooting, there was a hate crime, and then there was a shooting at a school. And you wonder, like, how is this sustainable? Is it possible for it to be sustainable? You know? You take a country that has this much crippling student loan debt, and you carpet bomb it with a bunch of school shootings. It's no wonder we don't like to read. Shit feels dangerous. That's my thing. It's like, I think it's going to change how future generations even talk about school, because there's just so many. It's not this like uncommon occurrence. And like, they don't all make international news because, thank God, not 13 kids aren't dying every time, but it's, you know, it is happening. It makes me wonder if 30 years from now, there's going to be a kid who turns to another kid. It's like, hey, him over there, he cold-blooded, got ice in his veins. Be like, what? Him? Yeah, him. What'd he do? It's like, he got a PhD. He went to school every day. He doesn't give a fuck. I've been trying to make more friends. This is the thing. When you are young and have a lot of friends, you think that you're good at making friends. But there's a chance that you're not. There's a chance that these friends are just from convenience and proximity, right? Because then when you get older, when you become an adult, you see how hard it is to make friends, you know? It's hard, whether you're trying to date someone or make a friend, it's incredibly difficult to walk up to someone and make something out of thin air. Because that's what you're doing when you're building relationships. And we're not always receptive to it, you know? We think that we're good at making friends. We think we want more friends, but sometimes it's not the day. I got too much on my mind. Or don't talk to me here. Or it's impossible to know. Huh? Like if somebody rolled up to you right now like, damn, man, I like your glasses. I like your hat. What you doing later? You'd be like, get the fuck away from me. I don't know if it's drugs you taking or drugs you need to be taking, but get away from me. I've been trying to make friends. I've been trying to make friends at the gym. Because that way I'll have a spotter, so I won't gym alone. If you don't know what a spotter is a friend who lets you believe in yourself too much. You go to the gym together and you're like, I think I could push 300. And he's like, we'll see. So I did it. I made a friend at the gym. I was working out and I saw this guy, and he basically was on the machine that I needed. So I was sort of waiting around. And have you ever met someone? Have you ever met someone that has been to so much jail they've been to so much jail that they are from jail? Do you know what I'm saying? Like you might be from Toronto, right? You might be from Vancouver. This man was from jail, okay? And you know he was from jail because he was like working out and he was barking in between reps. Like he was like, arr, 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 arr. It's like, okay. And he noticed me sort of lurking around waiting for him to be done on the machine. And he saw me. He was like, you trying to get on this one? I was like, oh, maybe. If that's okay with you. And he's like, let's take turns. I'm like, okay, cool. And so we did. We took turns, and I did my little like, and he did his like, arr, 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 arr. You know what I mean? And then for whatever reason, we just kept working out together. I was like, what workout are you doing? And he told me, and so we took turns for the rest of the time that we were at the gym, and we decided to be gym buddies. And I appreciate this about him. I really do appreciate this. That he did this, that he said this to me, you know, because we exchanged numbers and everything. And before I was about to leave, he was like, look, I got something to tell you. And I was like, oh, what is it? And he was like, I did a little time. Have you ever had someone tell you something that they thought was a secret? But was so painfully obvious, you had to act surprised to not feel rude. So then he said, I do a little time. And I was like, oh, time where? Time like abroad? And he was like, no, the pen. And I was like, oh, yep, fair enough. Okay, I got you. And so we decided to be workout buddies. And next time that we're supposed to meet up, I was late because I got off work late. So now I was heading there, and I'm excited to see my new friend, my new gym buddy, my new spotter. And as soon as I see him, I'm thinking he's gonna have a smile on his face too. This man is pissed, right? I walk up, he's like, where the fuck was you? Okay? I already started working out. I already did chest, already did back, already did stomachs. I was like, do you mean abs? And he's like, that's what I said, nigga, stomachs. I was like, yep, you're right. Apples and oranges. Fair enough. So, you know, we started working out, and it occurred to me that, like, if I really want a friend, the other thing that we do that stops people from being close to us is we, like, have little departments and categories for every friend. And sometimes we try to keep them there. Specifically, oh, I want you there. this is as far as I want the friendship to go. And then we wonder why we don't have anybody close to us. Because we didn't give at least everyone the chance to maybe be that close person to us. So I was like, if I'm going to be friends with this dude, I got to be his real friend, not just a gym buddy, his real friend, right? Because this is just a personal thing. I'm not trying to put this on anybody, but I genuinely believe that if someone does a crime and they go to jail and then they get out, it should be done. They paid their debt, and now it's time to move on, or else what re-ingratiates them back into society? Why change at all? You know what I mean? So I'm trying to do my best to like be his real friend. So I invited him to brunch. And Saturday comes, right? And he shows up to the brunch spot that I picked out, that I told him to come to, with the biggest brown bag I've ever seen in my entire... I didn't even know they made brown bags this big. It was a brown bag, might as well have been a garbage bag. This was crazy big, and it had a huge Tupperware of lasagna in it. And I was like, oh, why did you bring that? And he's like, it's brunch, isn't it? I was like, yep. But that's why we're here at the brunch restaurant. Like, you didn't have to bring any brunch with you because all the brunch is inside. I didn't know. And he's like, that's not what you said. I'm like, I understand. I didn't tell you not to bring anything. That's my bad. I didn't realize I needed to say, don't bring, all the brunch will be inside when we get there. And he's like, but it's brunch. And I was like, oh, yeah, you keep saying that, and I don't know what you mean. He's like, it's brunch. I brought my lunch. I was like, oh, this dude went to jail before brunch was invented. Okay. Cool. But my man loves $13 mimosas. I know because I was paying. After he finished one, he's like, let's get another one. I was like, well, let's implies both, but yeah, whatever. Okay. But it's great. It's a great friendship to have because honestly, this dude, I can't say this like as a blanket statement, but I will say, if it's possible, you know, one of the things I think that makes society better and would help in re-ingratiating these people back into society is if everybody had a friend who had been to jail. Because I will say this, a friend who's been to jail knows exactly when to leave a party. I went to a party this dude invited me to. I'm there for 12 minutes. And he's like, we need to get out of here. And I was like, oh, okay. And the next day, I saw that party on the news. I was like, wow, he could smell it coming. I know that y'all consume a ton of American news because we're right there. And we're pretty loud about it. So I know y'all saw the mugshot and everything. And sure. I was fascinated by that day, but not by him, not by Trump. Most fascinating person to me in that whole day, because Trump went in, turned himself in, and he had a lot of co-defendants, like 10 plus co-defendants that also had turned themselves in that day, take their mug shot, everything. But the person that I'm the most fascinated by is this dude named Harrison Floyd. Right? Now, Harrison Floyd is one of the co-defendants with Trump, and he's the only one out of all those people that did not get a bond agreement, right? He had to sit in jail until he could see a judge. He's also the only one out of all those people that is black. I should also point out, he's also the only one out of all those people that allegedly assaulted the FBI agent that tried to serve him his subpoena, all right? So... So basically, this dude had to sit in jail because he tried to fight mail, okay? So basically what happens is FBI show up at the door, try to give him his subpoena. He went for the FBI agent's gun, all right? Then he later admitted to police if he had got the gun, he would have shot the FBI agent and killed him. He also admitted to police that if he had known it was the FBI at the door, he would have brought his gun and shot him and killed him. All right? That's what we like to call a thought. All right? What was he thinking? Never in the history of niggerdom has a nigga been this dumb. This is the most insane thing I've seen in a long time. He must have forgot he was black. What could possibly be going through your head? That was so insane. It was so crazy. It even made me feel bad for Trump for a second. Because how does he not have one single normal black fan? Every time one of his fans that's black makes the news is always going through something, you know? It's terrible. You know, Trump has a reputation as a racist, and he always talking about how he's the least racist person you could ever be. I don't know. After this, I'm inclined to maybe believe him. He be hanging out with the black people I would never hang out with. That's like truly. I don't know. This dude like a Statue of Liberty for wayward niggas. This is astounding. He's just standing like, bring me your ashy, your dusty, your dumbass masses. The story was so crazy, I'm not gonna lie, I even felt bad for FBI agent. I never thought I'd say that in my life. I even felt bad for the FBI agent, because if somebody goes for your gun for a split second, you gotta think they're going for your dick. You gotta be like... I had this popped in my head out of nowhere. I had this date years ago where we both admitted to each other on the date that for both of us it was our first date in a year. And it was really great. That was such a great thing for us to share, because then we both knew in that moment we were about to be trash. Like, this is... Neither one of us are getting each other's best. We're very rusty. And it actually ended up being a great date. Like, it was a great little hangout. We were getting along wonderfully. The vibe was not there, right? We weren't clicking in that way, but we were like, no, this is like, it's just great to spend time with a cool person, you know? And so at the end of the date, it was like a non-verbal thing. It was just a thing that we were both thinking. We just went ahead and we gave it a shot. Just one kiss, just to see. Because we've been getting along great for 3 hours. What if there's a spark, you know? You don't want to miss out on that. And I should mention that she's not just a lovely person, wonderful human. She also has the biggest hands of anyone I've ever met in my life. Her hands were huge, okay? And I'm not coming down on her hands, because I don't know if you noticed my hands since I've been up here, but I could use some more manly digits. These are not the hands I would have picked if they had been handing out hands. These are piano fingers at best. I was jealous of her hands the whole day. We went to an arcade and we were playing whack-a-mole, and she was using the mallet and her hands. She was like... Her hands were so strong, she accidentally opened a locked door. Bathroom door was locked. Somebody was in there. She didn't know. She just twisted it. And we all heard the pop. It was a pop because she broke the lock. She has a locksmith right here. They just popped right and opened it. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Spent the whole day jealous of those hands. And so we went to kiss, right? And as we went to kiss, I felt something. I felt something up. I felt something up the back of my head. And I realized it was her hand. She was cupping the back of my head with her hand. I'd never been cupped before. I didn't even know that was a move people were doing in real life. Like, and if you were far away, it must have looked like my whole head fit in her hand. It must look like she was cupping a baby in her hand. And then I could feel this. I could feel this pressure from her kiss that was knocking me off balance a little bit. And that's when I realized, I'm like, wait, this bitch trying to dip me. I started fighting the dip. I was like, you ain't gonna dip me. You ain't gonna dip me. I'm a man, you ain't gonna dip me. Because think about it, if we have this kiss and there's a spark and we start going out, you gotta establish parameters early. If you let her dip you on the first kiss, the first time y'all smash, your legs will be in the air, bro. That's just the law. She already established dominance, all right? And so I'm fighting, I'm like, you ain't gonna dip me. You ain't gonna dip me. I ain't going. I'm sure I gave her the worst kiss of her life because my core was on fire, so I'm sure I was kissing just like. I don't know. In those moments of the kiss could have been more than like 8 seconds, but a lot was going on. You know what I mean? And like, I don't know. In that kiss, I kind of felt, at least what I imagined, like I almost feel like I felt like a woman for a second, because I was like, you know what I mean? Because I was like safe but in danger. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like she had me, but she might take me. You know? Cool. How y'all doing? Everybody good? Sweet. I was reading this news story from Australia where this woman has finally been charged in connection with the death of 3 people. She's been charged for murder of 3 people who died after they ate lunch at a lunch party she threw. And when they arrested her, she was like, how am I supposed to know what's poison and what's not poison? You know what I mean? Like, it could be anything. Why couldn't the meal be so good that they died? Did anybody think of that? And the more that I read about the story, it was baffling. So it turns out just about everybody at the lunch party were her ex-husband's relatives. So yeah, I think you might have done it. Wow, that's crazy. I know some of y'all out here love staying friends with your exes and stuff, but if I ever have an ex-wife, and one day, randomly in July, she's like, how about you and your whole family come and eat a meal I cook while I watch? I'm gonna have to decline on the poisoning. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't care. I don't care what type of apple flavors you make it. You're not killing me, okay? You know. And the only reason the husband's still alive is at the last minute he couldn't make it. So he was also gonna be there, and then he was like, sorry, got held up at work. Then he lived. That feels crazy, you know. They say revenge is a dish best served beef Wellington. And I loved it though, because it was such a weird story. And then imagine your alibi being like, y'all know I can't cook. Like, What is your plan here, man? You all ever have that person in your life that's like the dumbest person you know? Like, just top to bottom, you're like, how are you still alive? You know what I mean? You just won't even understand how they function. You know, it's like, you made it this far, and yesterday couldn't have been easier than today. How do you keep racking up days consecutively? I know a dude that, I won't even call him a friend. I know a dude that is the most unsuccessful drug dealer I've ever met in my life. This is absolutely astounding. How do you fail at selling drugs to people who very much want drugs? Like, they would like drugs very much until they meet you. That is crazy. What kind of bad vibes are you putting out that someone on crack is like, you know what? I'll wait. That's insanity. How'd you take the urgency out of drugs? It's truly wild. I've never seen anything like it. He honestly cleaning up the streets. Everybody he tries to sell to don't want it. I'm like, you making the neighborhood safer by the day. You really need to work for the DARE program or the police. Somebody where you can make money by being bad at what you do. It's astounding. I told him, I was like, you need to do something else with your life. This is clearly not your calling, all right? You know, because when you're good at selling drugs, if you're good enough, they'll make movies about you, they'll make TV shows about you. His movie would be 8 minutes. It would be him haggling for the price of meth with somebody and then them being like, you know what, keep it, and then just walking away. I told him, I was like, you need to do something else, and he got all defensive. You know, he was like, you putting it all on me. It's not all me, you know? This dude actually said to me, he's like, can I borrow a couple dollars till I get paid? I'm like, there's no payroll. Like, you sell drugs and you'll be paid. I'm not giving you money, because then you'll literally have to pay me back with drug money. That's insane. Now I'm part of the operation. I don't want to have anything to do with this. He's always so defensive, like, you putting it all on me. It's not all me, okay? It's this economy. I'm like, no, you don't get to say that. No one smoking crack is saving up for a house. It's devastating. I also had, okay. Y'all know what the ick is, right? Okay, in case you don't know what the ick is, in case you don't have TikTok, the ick is when you are infatuated with someone. You really like them, and then they do something. It's usually something innocuous, something that's very particular. And then it just turns you off. You lose that infatuation, and hence the ick. You don't want to be with them anymore. Like if you went on a date with someone, and then on the date, they were eating, and they were like slurping their soup extra hard, and now you don't want to be with a whole person because they use their mouth. You know what I mean? Like, everyone always talks about what their ick is, you know? Or what they don't like, what gave them the ick. But nobody ever talks about being the ick. Have you noticed that? It's like, it's always about what bothers me. It's never people just admitting that they did something. Like, I'll be vulnerable for a second. I've been the ick before. And there's nothing like watching yourself be the ick in the woman's face. It's the saddest, it's genuinely horrible. Because it's like, once again, I'm not a bad person. I'm not doing anything crazy or gross. I'm just, I did whatever I did, and now we both like, oh, yeah. I give you some examples. I used to live in Chicago, right? And when I lived there, I was... my life was not great. I don't know, I was very broke. I remember I had gone on this date, and the date was fantastic. We had a great time. She even came back to my place. We're sitting on my bed. She's clearly gonna spend the night. It's definitely about to happen. But I had work in the morning, so I just wanted to make sure that I had set my alarm for work and that I plugged my phone in so it didn't die, right? But the way that my bed was, the way that my bed was, the plug for the outlet was slightly behind the bed, okay? So now I'm trying to reach and plug it in, but I'm also trying to maintain this eye contact, this vibe that we have going. So now I'm trying to plug it in, but I'm not looking and I can't find it, right? And so I'm just watching her slowly get more and more disappointed as I'm trying to plug this in, and I can't, and I'm talking my game too. I'm like, I'm about to tear it up, girl. One second, you about to get it. At one point, I think I even said, "Come on!" And it just killed the vibe. It really did, because you just looking at me, and she didn't say it, but you could see on her face, it's like, you're not too good at plugging stuff into sockets. That's not good foreshadowing, you know what I mean? I think let's just watch a movie or something. And I'm not gonna lie, it took me a while to get my confidence back up, you know? It took me a while to get my life together. And once I did, once I was more put together and I moved my bed, I put myself back out there. And so I went on a first date with this young lady, and we were gonna go to dinner and a movie. And then on the way to dinner, I pushed a pull door, all right? And like, and there's no quicker way to look like you have an iron deficiency in front of a woman than to push a pull door. Because I had overcommitted, because I'm trying to be a gentleman, right? I'm trying to open the door for her, let her walk in first and everything. So I gave a little push. That we were talking, I gave a little push. I was like, maybe it just needs extra pressure. So I leaned into it a little bit more, and when it wouldn't budge, I was like, maybe I need two hands. And so now so now I'm square with the wall, right? And I'm pushing. And then I had pushed so hard that I started slipping. So I was sliding down as I was pushing. And right when my forehead hit the wall, like hit the door, I saw that in little print it said pull. But who puts pull in fine print? That's crazy. And so I opened the door and she walked in. She was sweet. She tried to ignore it and everything. But then it went to the movie and I pulled a push. And like this one, I didn't pull as long as I had pushed the other one, so it wasn't as embarrassing. But it's just like I really tugged hard. Like I didn't put my foot up on or anything, but I was just like, I tugged hard. Your first date is supposed to be you getting to know a person. You know what I mean? And so now I could tell I gave her the ick because we were having a good time outside of those two situations. But then she was like, in her mind, I think maybe, she was like, he's sweet, but he don't understand doors. And it's like, how do you... And it was embarrassing, but it's like, and I don't know if I should bring it up and address it or if I should just let it go or something, but she saw it both times, like she was waiting to get in. Like, so it's not like something she could just ignore. So now, and I wanted to be like, look, I understand, I got a door in my room. Like, that's... But then she was looking at me after like when we went in the movie, like the rest of the date, she was looking at me like I was slow. And then I was like, I got a door in my room, which does make me sound slow. Like just, I got a door in my room. Like that sounds crazy because it's like, am I talking about a closet or am I talking about the door to my room? And it's just, it was devastating. And I get it. Like, I understand from her perspective, because she doesn't want to be out here dating somebody that she gotta look out for. Like, I get close to a door and she gotta be like, it's an innie. Like, so I get it.
The worst one. Absolute worst one was months later. Okay, so I used to work at a grocery store, right? And I was working one day, and I slipped on some Rogue juice. And so it was a spill in the aisle. I slipped on juice, and I fell on my hip. And I fell like that. You know when somebody take like an old fall? Like, you know, like that fall where you like, grandpa got one left. Like it was like that level fall, because I fell on pure hip. It was like hip bone, right? And so I was all bruised up and hurting and everything, and I was like limping for some of the day. And then as I was healing up, because I didn't have health insurance, so when you don't have health insurance, you like, I think I just live like this now. You know what I mean? Like because by the next day I was healing up, but my hip was clicking, right? And so it would click whenever I would walk, and when I would sit down, that was 3 clicks right there. And so it was clicking nonstop. And I didn't have health insurance, so I was like, I think I just click now. I think that's just a part of who I am as a person. And so fast forward a couple days later, I'm still hurt, I'm still clicking and everything, but I've been seeing someone, and this was going to be the first time that we hooked up. And so we're about to have sex, and we start having sex, and I'd gotten so used to the clicks that I wasn't really thinking about them anymore, right? And I had been healing up, so I was like, maybe I don't even click like that. But then we started, and I didn't realize I click on the in and the out. Like I'm clicking nonstop, and it's loud too. It's so loud because I didn't put on any music, so there's no Miguel, there's no R&B to hide behind. It's just the clicks is all you can hear in the room. And I left my bathroom door open, so now I'm getting click echo from because it'll click in the room and click in the bathroom, and there's a click back, right? And I'm trying to put in work, so I'm sounding like a horse on cobble. Like I'm like truly nonstop, because I'm really I'm trying to make a good impression. This is our first time hooking up, so I'm like nonstop. And so then she trying to act like she don't hear it. She trying to be polite and everything. She's like, ooh, okay. But she can clearly hear it, you know? And then I'm getting self-conscious, so now I start clicking off rhythm, you know what I mean? It's like, which is just making it worse, because it's like, it's already bad that you clicking, but if you clicking on the 1 and the 3, everybody knows that this is bad. Now, you know what I mean? And so then I was like, she was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm good. How you doing? How's it for you? And she was like, we should talk. And I was like, all right, that's never good. And then we sat down. She's like, are you like okay? I'm like, yeah, no, I'm fine. I just fell. It was some Rogue juice in the aisle, and I fell. And then she was like, well, how about we try me on top? And so we did, and then that did not help at all, because now it was just, it was louder clicks because there was more pressure, right? So now it was like, it felt like it was her clicks, you know what I mean? Like now she sounded like a full Paul Revere, right? Like, because she was riding me, but she's also like non-stop. And it was devastating. It was so bad. And that's the only person that's ever ghosted me where I was like, I understand. I get it. I think I even texted her afterwards, like, hey, I understand. Like a month after she stopped hearing my text message, I just texted her one last time, like, I understand. Like, it was horrible. I don't know if y'all saw the news, but the orcas are at it again. Orcas, if you haven't seen it, the orcas, killer whales, are out here sinking yachts. They just ramming the yachts until they sink and everything. And who would have thought that the orcas would be the ones to step up? Like, yeah, I mean, like, rich people just be rich in our faces all the time on land, and then they went into the water, and the orcas were like, not my hood, dog. Like, crazy. I wish orcas had thumbs so bad, just because I would just want them to throw up gang signs with their fins. All day. The most recent one this yacht that was going through the Strait of Gibraltar, and these orcas attacked it for 45 minutes, which must be terrifying because, like, I would hate to get killed by an orca because it's like their echolocation, the noises that they make are so close to dolphins. Like, just imagine you being murdered in the water and all you hear is like, ah! Gang, gang. This is terrible. Tearing you up. It's horrific, you know? But they rammed the boat for 45 minutes and then finally it started to sink. Now, I was reading more about the story. It turns out there was no rich guy on that yacht. That yacht was just like in transit. So then when it capsized, the crew was who was in danger. But the orcas didn't attack any of the crew. Crew made it out safe, which does make me think even more that this is a money thing. Like, this is, it's gotta be. You had plenty of people right there to chop up and dice on and nibble up, and you didn't. And I'd like to think that, like, an orca nibbled maybe one of them and was like, oh, that tastes like work. I need supple. That workman meat too tough. You know what I mean? But y'all been amazing. Thank you so much. I'm Josh. I was having a conversation with a friend from back home, and so many things work in connection together to get me where I am. I saw this article about this guy. I think his name's, I might be mispronouncing it, but Brian Mwende, and he is in Kenya, and he was a lawyer. He was a fake lawyer, and he won 26 cases straight. 26 cases straight, one after the other. WW. And then they finally caught him. And now he is awaiting trial, where I pray he represents himself. That's phenomenal. 26. You got fake, and apparently it's a whole thing. I didn't know this. In Kenya, this is a whole thing. There are a bunch of fake lawyers, because he was just the first one. There's a bunch of fake lawyers that just never actually passed the bar, but they've been practicing. I guess they got a storefront or something. Like, I don't know, you just walk in and you're like, you seem like a lawyer. You know, the only way I know any lawyer has been a lawyer that I've ever worked with was the paper on the wall behind their desk. If that's fake, I have a fake lawyer. Meanwhile, in America, we have, okay. So my friend from back home that I worked with, we used to work together, and he wasn't always on the right path, right? So he used to be involved in some gang shit and everything. And he got caught up on some drug charges. But these drug charges were not things he actually did, right? So he almost went in confident. Okay, I know I have a past, I have a rap sheet, but I wasn't even there. I did not do this thing. His lawyer graduated from Cooley. If you don't know what Cooley is at least spoken of as the worst law school in America. It is where, famously, Michael Cohen went. Michael Cohen, Trump's lawyer, who went to jail. Do you know how bad of a lawyer you have to be representing somebody else and you go to jail? Do you know what I'm saying? Trump still hadn't been to jail, and his lawyers keep going to jail. The level of crime you have to do for the jail to miss you and hit whoever is standing behind you is crazy. But it was Michael Cohen's fault. He did his crime, you know, he went ahead, went to jail and everything. But Cooley
apparently, is not a great law school. I didn't know this, but this is something that came up whenever Michael Cohen went to prison. And it was confirmed by my friend who had this drug charge, had a lawyer representing him that went to Cooley. And lawyer walks in, public defender, right? Walks in and doesn't say hello, doesn't ask him really anything, just goes, how much time can you do? And he was like, I shouldn't do any time. I wasn't there. I did. And the lawyer cut him off. Fuck all that, all right? How much can you handle? Like, in your spirit, how much time can you do? I just don't want to see you broken. You know, you a young man. We might be able to get... And he's like, have you talked to the prosecution already? He's like, no, I haven't talked to him, but I heard he good, okay? It's like, did he offer a deal or something? Ain't no deal right now, man. Just answer my question. So they end up going to trial, right? And during the trial, there's just a random day that his lawyer and the prosecution get called up by the judge, come see me in my chambers, right? Full, like, Law and Order. And then they're gone for like 8 minutes. And when the door opens, he sees his lawyer, the Cooley graduate, walking out in handcuffs. He doesn't even know what this dude did, but he leaned over to him as he was getting walked out and was like, I did my best. This year has been really, really wild in the ways of how labor works. There have been 312 strikes this year. Different organizations, things that have nothing to do with each other. All striking, different places, right? And that tells you something. That tells you a bigger thing is happening, you know? And I think that it also tells you that you can only treat people a certain way. You can only underpay them. You can only take so much from them before they can't take it anymore. You know what I mean? Because striking comes at a cost. It comes at a heavy cost. And you should ask yourself what that means when someone is striking, which is already a cost to them, and they're doing it anyway. That means that they have so little, that they have so little left to lose, they might as well roll the dice. You know? And it's across so many different industries. Alaskan school bus drivers had a strike. I don't even know what that job is, really. Like, it sounds like most of it is in the name. And I imagine it's like Ice Road Truckers, but with kids, you know what I mean? They had a strike. Nurses banded together and had a strike. One of the largest strikes we've seen from nurses. And that's one of those professions where you just give those people what they need. Just do it. The nurses, a nurse. And they've already in some places reached some sort of agreement, which happened quickly because it has to. I feel like maybe the executives that work at hospitals wanted to hold out. They were like, fuck them nurses, we ain't giving them shit. And then they immediately fell down some stairs. And they were like, just bring them to the table. God, oh God. Walgreens has strike. Yeah, a lot of people didn't know about this. Walgreens pharmacists had a walkout. There were strikes at a bunch of different Walgreens. You better give those people what they need, because without a pharmacy, Walgreens is just a bad bodega. Truly, it is. You know, it's not great. It's just a bodega where every item is in prison. You know what I mean? That is truly devastating. I hate that so much, because then you go to a Walgreens, you go to a CVS, you got to hit the button Now you gotta wait. And who knows how long you'll wait? You know what I mean? It could be 2 minutes. It could be till the end of somebody's shift. You know what I mean? It's just you're waiting there, and then you got to point too. That's the worst part. So now you got to point, and then you got to point at which one you need. So now they know exactly what size of condom. It's not even a whole thing that they can open. It's just like, so you want the mediums, or what do you? I've been thinking about this a lot. There's something to be said for how we talk about porn, right? I get it. Porn gives men unrealistic expectations, but I think it gives everybody unrealistic expectations of sex. Because porn makes men think as soon as they touch you with their penis, you're gonna freak out. You know what I mean? If they just put the dick on the shoulder, you're gonna be like, that's not how life works. And porn gives women unrealistic expectations of sex, because it makes women think sex is about to be like good or whatever. But the thing that's really important to remember, the thing that keeps me grounded as a person, is that I go ahead and I watch the bloopers. You have to watch the bloopers. This is the thing. When you watch porn, one of the reasons people have unrealistic expectations is because they forget that when you watch porn, you're watching an edit. You know what I mean? Those are very sexy people who have sex for a living, but they're also doing the best of clips right now. They're not showing you everything. When you watch the bloopers, you realize even porn stars, they get down like us. There's a lot getting puffed out. There's a lot of like, just like lots of things that humanize the experience. You know? One of my favorite ones, it wasn't even really a blooper, it was just like an outtake, I guess, just some extra footage. And there was a guy who had what I can only describe as too big of a penis. Now I know that makes it sound like I got a small penis or something, but truly, for the safety of the actress involved, this was untenable, okay? I was worried for her, all right? So anyway, they're going at it, and they're making all the noises you'd expect. Is him going, him like, like just a non-stop of that. And then out of nowhere, this man stopped, walked away, walked over to the crabs table, and grabbed a Snickers and started eating. And I was like, you know what? Yes, we need to incorporate more snack breaks into sex. That should actually be the Snickers commercial right there. It should be somebody, These are both good. I like them both. You know? One of my favorite bloopers though was this. There was once again a guy, very well endowed, going at it, just really giving it his all, putting all of his creative energy into the scene, okay? And then he's like really like, all this stuff like that, and then he clearly catches a Charlie horse. And I looked like the DiCaprio meme for a second. I was like, me too, I do that all the time. We should really stretch before we get, wow. And then my man is over there, and you can see him trying to push through it, just like, and then at one point, when he has a Charlie horse, he goes like, which I guess is the same noise he makes when, And so then she's like, did you? And he's like, no, So then the actress sits down and you see her from the front for the first time, and it is funny because she's not looking at the camera, but the camera's still rolling, and he over here limping, trying to stomp it out, and she just goes. Y'all have been so great. Thank you so much. I'm Josh Johnson.
I can't tell the story is hilarious or heartbreaking. I think you'll decide. There's a pastor in Colorado that scammed his congregation out of $3.2 million. No, it's a heartwarming story. It was all for crypto. He made a coin. And he passed it off to his congregation, saying that the Lord wanted to bless them. And then they invested. And then he's now been caught and is being charged with fraud. And he pocketed 1.3 million of the 3.2 million. And so he came out and he made a video. And in the apology video, he is very honest. He's like, listen, the Lord spoke to my wife and I and said to, make this coin and everything. And I even said to God, I like how he acts like God is a guy, just like, and that he's a guy that he can't get on the phone right now, but was talking wild a couple weeks ago. And so it's like, and then look, I was even asking God, because I'm not even omniscient like God is. I'm not over here like God. And I even asked God, I was like, where's the liquidity going to come from? And honestly, if your pastor ever says liquidity to you, that should be the first sign to run. Run as fast as you can, as far away as possible. And so he's like, I even asked God, where's the liquidity gonna come from? And God said, trust me. And so then I immediately told you it would be fine. That's my bad. I want you to know, out of that 1.3 million that my wife and I pocketed, 500,000 went to the IRS, which is a meaningless detail, by the way. Like, yes, you paid your taxes, but that's just a weird thing that the pastor did to be like, hey, look, while we're being honest, I got fucked too, okay? IRS really get everybody, don't they? It's like, as much as we hate the IRS, you're not gonna flip this around on them right now. And then he got caught and he's like, yes, we did spend it on some trips and a home renovation that the Lord told us to do. And it's like, I'm starting to think that Lord is just some guy's last name to him. Just a Marcus Lord that does a lot of cocaine. It's like, I got a new coin. You should tell your peeps, you should get them in on it. Because I've read a good portion of the Bible, and I don't know. No, like, I'm not saying I'm smarter than everyone that was in the congregation. I'm expressly not saying that. Like, but it is a thing where it's like, if you read the Bible, what he's saying will be weird. You know what I mean? Like, if you read the Bible and you have a general understanding of it, when a guy comes to you and he's like, listen, the Lord about them gains, okay? I think it makes it easier for you to be like, oh, I think this guy is full of shit. Thank you. But that's a scary thing, though, is that, like, there's a blurred line now, blurred almost to the point of being indistinguishable between, like, pastors and influencers. You know what I mean? Like a pastor used to be, at least where I come from, a pastor used to at least be poor. You know what I mean? When a pastor is poor, they're very easy to believe. Because you see how poor they are, and they're like, oh, you really about that life. Do you know what I mean? Like, like a poor pastor is like
it's like a gang member that has been shot a few times, where you can see the lumps. And you're like, oh, you're really dangerous, okay. A pastor that's poor makes a more convincing argument. Because even when you try to check their work, you're like, if nothing else, even if they are absolutely out of their mind, they at least believe this because they're willing to dedicate their whole life to, and to it exactly, to it only, right? To whatever mission they feel like God has led them to. They're willing to focus solely on that to the point of being completely removed from the world, right? So any worldly thing doesn't affect them. They have no interest in it. They're only focused on whatever the thing is. Maybe it's helping people. Maybe it's spreading the word. Maybe it's knocking on doors at 6 a.m. or whatever they feel led to do. And then a rich pastor tells, like a rich pastor has a more alluring argument. Because a rich pastor rolls up in a Rolls Royce in a $10,000 suit with a $200,000 watch and a pinky ring. Like, the amount of pastors dressing like pimps needs to be talked about. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's too many wires crossing with, like, I'll see a pastor dressed fully like Don Bishop Juan, and I'll be like, oh, yes, you are pimping your congregation. Yes, I get it. Wow. And in their faces too, you're brazen with it because you dress rich in front of them and they're poor to make you rich. And wow, that is ballsy. Maybe you do have God's protection. That's crazy that you're going to do that in their face. And then you tell them what you buy. If you see these televangelists, they tell the people what they bought with the money that they said was going to missions and to... Because when the plate is getting passed around, it's so that we can help the poor and that we can spread the word and that we can, sort of build up the church to have things for you as a community. One of the only reasons to have church is for a community. It doesn't even have to be fully like-minded people. It can just be people that you feel like safe and in communion with. And so, yes, sometimes everybody pulls their money together and then they're like, what would be great is a rec center for the kids. And then a church will put all their money into building a building that could be a rec center for the kids so that they don't get in trouble. There are lots of things and ways that churches spend money that I do think are good. And so when I see like a mega church's facilities, I'm not immediately skeptical. It's when I see the person and he's dressed so much like a pimp. Like, I cannot stress this enough. It is full pimp outfit. Like, it's to the point of tacky. Like, we're not even talking about just because he has a suit. I'm talking about he has like... They are all stopping short of a cane. Like, they're millionaires in your face, and they're telling you, I have all this stuff because, because God blessed me with this jet. I purchased this jet for the Lord so that I could fly from place to place quicker, spreading the message. And I would even believe that if we didn't have Zoom. If Zoom was not a thing, I would get a pastor being like, I have to get over there to spread the word as quickly as possible. They don't know. They have no idea. And it's not like we can send them a telegram or something. It's not like there's been iterations of communication for decades that would negate me buying a jet to fly it to, I'm not going to tell you where. Like, how did we get here? And look, it is probably, it's probably an easy thing to have happen. It is. It's probably, I think that I'm trying to be gracious for a second. I really am. I'm trying to extend an olive branch for a second and just, no, just hear me out. I do think that there's something that speaks to these pastors, but I think what has happened is that they have mistaken God for their intrusive thoughts. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't know all of you, I don't know, exactly what your lives are like. I don't know if you grew up with religious or not, or what religion or anything. I'm just saying, as individuals, every single one of us here, if we were to lead a congregation and we were to pass around a jar or a plate, collection plate, anything like that, and everybody gave something because we made a compelling case that it is your job as a citizen of the world to help people that you may never meet, right? Is your actual duty as a living, breathing, empathetic individual that you have to do something if someone somewhere is hurting. You don't need to know them and you don't need to know why they got there. That's none of your business. It's important to help someone. And then the plate gets passed around and you make such a compelling argument that everybody puts, $1, $5, $10, or like the Bible says, 1/10 of their income to help the poor. And then church is over. Everybody leaves. And then you go to the back office where they have piled up all the money, and you do look at it and go, nigga, we rich. I mean, wow. Oh, we really cooking right now. Oh, man, I get the pinky with the oh. I'm not going to get the cane, that's too much, but oh. Just looking at a pile of money, a pile of envelopes with 1/10 of someone's paycheck in order for them to either spread the word of God or help people that they will never meet, build a well, do something so it matters that we were here, right? And then you see the money and it's stacked pretty high because it's a big church. And you look at all that money and it's hard not to be like, game time? That's a tough thing. A friend said to me today, because I was telling him about the story, and he said to me that if churches did what they were supposed to do, we might not have much homelessness. You know what I mean? Like if churches were really about it, in a compelling way, in a way that was genuinely uncomfortable. In a way that was like, I'm gonna tell you a story, and you're gonna judge me, but it's fine. I was at a theater when I first moved to Chicago. And when I first moved to Chicago, I didn't have any money, right? And I especially did not have much to spare. But I was at a show, and I was at that show because it was free. So it was a free midnight show that I loved so much. I made sure to go there every Thursday night because I knew it was a free show. I could do something. I could meet other comics. I could, learn by watching them and everything, because everyone on the show was incredibly funny. It's actually a sketch show, ironically enough. And there was a person that came in, and she came in and she clearly had nothing, right? Her clothes were torn and everything. Her hair was a little messed up and she had a little bit of a limp. And she was asking people for change. And you gotta remember, this is like a kind of swanky place. Like it has a little bit of that underground grunge feel to it, but it's also like a nice place with a nice bar and everything. And so everybody was like, no, 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 no. And everyone was varying degrees of like just ignoring, politely saying no, being aggressive, get out of here sort of thing. And then someone came and they asked her to leave, right? And so I see all that happen. I'm sort of sitting in the back towards where the showroom is. And then this was all happening towards the front. She didn't get far in. I watch the show,
And I'll be honest, I didn't really think about her while I was watching the show. I was thinking about what an incredible show this was, how thankful I was that it was free and everything. And then the show lets out. And I guess because a couple hours had passed, she gave it another try. So she came in, she was asking people for change. And once again, it was varying degrees of not looking at her, asking her to leave them alone and everything, politely saying no. And so then I had about like $3 in my pocket. And so I saw her the second time, and I felt so bad about how the first time went and that I didn't do anything that I went ahead and I gave her the $3. And when I gave her the $3, she took it and she looked at me and she said, "Oh, thank you so much." And then she jumped and hugged me tight. And what should have been a sweet moment was mainly just me being like, oh my God, 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 oh, 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 oh. And then she walked off, happy as could be, walked out of the venue. And then I was like, I gotta wash my hands, I gotta wash my hands, I gotta wash my hands, I gotta wash my hands. And I think that, you know, I look back at that and I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud of how I reacted or anything, but that does feel like what church should feel like. Like, instead of just being boring, it should be like, oh my God. Oh, wow. Everybody really is welcome. Oh, jeez. All right, cool.
All right. I feel like I deserve some water right now. I'm not gonna lie, to be funny, I was gonna pour it on myself and then take my shirt off, but I was like, this is my special. I can't do that. I don't have another shirt. No, that's stupid. I'm cutting all this out. Shut up, stop. It's all gonna be cut out. Quit being nasty. My mom's here.
Thank y'all. I am Mama Lawson. Let me tell you something about Preacher Lawson. His life has not been easy, but in his DNA is no failure and no quit. He has worked really hard to be at this point for his second special. Let's give it up for my son, Preacher Lawson.
Hey, this is cool. Why'd y'all stop? I was liking that. That was really cool, man. That was awesome, man. But this is my second special. Thank you so much for coming out. Wow. Isn't that cool? And my mom brought me out for my second special, man. All right, that's cool, man. That's how many people bring their mom with them on the road to do comedy, right? That's so cool, and it's cheaper. So I'm gonna keep doing it, man. I love her. That's my favorite mom. She top 3. She up there, you know. Yeah. And my mom bring me out and because my mom, I decided to wear her pants. You know what I mean? I did not know these were gonna be this tight, bruh. I can't even bend my knees. You notice? You notice the whole time I haven't bent my knee. She was there when I first went on stage. Man, the first time I ever went on stage, I was 17 years old. I was at the University of Memphis, and I was so scared to go on stage. They called the next person. They were like, "All right, give it up for Preacher Lawson." Preacher Lawson, is he not here? Okay, we'll just call the next person. And my mom was in the back. Nope, he right here. Get on stage, boy. You ain't gonna waste my gas money. Here we go. And then I went on stage right after that. So my mom is awesome, man. She's really cool. And we was on tour together. We went to Europe, so that was pretty cool. We went to Europe. Yeah, that's cool. Y'all been to Europe? We was in London, bruv, London. London, eh? All right, that was really bad. I know it's trash. I know. I don't know how to do that. I don't know. They do bad accents of Americans. Have you ever asked someone from London to do an American accent? It's so bad, right? Like, hey, do an American. You know what they do every time? I'm from America. Every time. Then the second one is like, I'm American, right? Then the third one is, yo, 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 my man. I wonder what race he is. You know, they just assume all black people in America sound like DMX. They're like, what? Come on, America in the building. Let me, where my dogs at? Like, I can't sound that aggressive. I'm ticklish. There's no way I can. You can't even hug me too fast. I just slip out. It sucks. I'm a grown man. Gucci Gucci Goo is my kryptonite. You know how bad that sucks? And I love hugs. This is my jam, man. You ever hug someone that's not a hugger though, and then like halfway through the hug, they try to slide out the hug? Ooh, it gets too much love, I'm melting, you know? I just follow them down. I'm like, we already here now, baby. We already here. You're gonna love me. No. That's how I feel when I like hug puppies. You know? You ever hug like an animal or kitten, they try to get out? You're like, trust me, this is great. You'll love me. Give me a second. That's how I feel. I like animals. But yeah, man, it's really cool to be here, and it's cool to do my second special. This is awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome. I look different from my first special. I look different. I grew my hair out a little bit. I don't know if y'all noticed anything. You notice anything? Let me know if you notice anything. It's my favorite thing to do in the world, man. I love doing that. Sometimes I fake like someone said my name so I can do it. I'm like, who called me over here, huh? Which one of y'all said my name? I love it. I feel like Little Mermaid when she came out the water. Look at my hair, isn't it neat? I love it. You know? When I had short hair, I used to wash my own hair. Now that I got long hair, when they get it done, they get them fingers in my hair and they start scratching my scalp, and I'm like, oh snap! That's why them dogs be kicking. It feels so good. I love it. I grew it out during quarantine. Remember that? Yeah. When it was illegal to touch people, that was a threat, touching somebody. What you say? I'll hug your whole family, cuz. It was a threat, right? People were dying from drive-by high fives. Look at us now, we feel great, right? I got my booster shot last year. I didn't want to, but they were like, we're not gonna pay you. And I'm like, where are you trying to put it though? You know what I'm saying? Come on. They gave it to too many white people, it's gotta be safe, you know? So I did it. And I feel good. Not good like, ooh, my powers are kicking in, you know. I just think I'm not gonna die, but I'm pretty healthy. I wasn't gonna die before. I know I say that and some people get mad at me. They're like, you shouldn't say that. I know people as healthy as you and they still died. You know how I know they weren't as healthy as me? They died. So, I've never died in my life, undefeated. How you gonna tell me? I don't even think I can. I'm a vegan, you know what I mean? Name one vegan that's died. You can't, because we don't. We just turn to trees, you know? Groot, you know, he's just a vegan, so. But yeah, man, I grew it out. I like my hair, man. I like it. Some people don't like it and they tell me, which I think is weird. Like people feel mad comfortable telling me that they don't like my hair. Like they'll be like, oh, I liked your hair when it was shorter. I'm like, all right, well, it's not, so. I don't know why you're telling me this, man. Some people don't recognize me with my hair. They'll see me and they'll be like, is that Preacher? But they don't know for sure. And they don't want to walk over and be like, hey, Preacher. And I'm like, another black dude. And they're like, oh my God, I'm nothing. Right? So some people they go up and whisper my name, which is the creepiest thing. Why you whispering my name? I'll be chilling in Walgreens, minding my own business out of nowhere. Preacher Lawson. I'm like, which one of y'all said that? Who said my name? Say my name. Don't whisper my name, that's weird. Like it's weird to whisper in general. Think about it. Unless you're trying to be sexy, you telling a secret or being racist, you should not be whispering. It's weird, like homeless people know to project. Come on, man, let me get $1. trying to borrow a dollar. You never see a homeless person just walk up to you, let me get a dollar. I want to borrow a dollar so bad. I want to borrow a dollar. Mama say, mama say, mama could say. Here's a dollar, sir. I don't know why. I don't know why you did Michael Jackson lyrics. You know what Michael Jackson's saying in that song? He's saying, I'ma say it one more time, I'm not gonna stop. I'ma say it one more time, I'm not gonna stop. That's what he's saying. Someone ruined it for me, I'm ruining it for everybody, all right? I was mad too, I was like, what? But all of y'all for years, mama say, mom stop. Mama say. Those aren't words, bruh. No one said that in life. Keep on playing, I'm gonna mock you, son. That's not a thing. People just believe anything they hear, man. Someone told me it was African. I was like, all right, mama say, mama say. I just went along with it. I was like, look at me, I'm bilingual. Mama say, mama. I just went along with it. That's not true. People believe anything they hear. And I know that for a fact because some of y'all believe me just now. And I lied. I made that up, man. I lied. Yeah, I lied. I lie all the time. I'm not even black. Check it out. My name is Jerry. No, I'm black. I'm black. That'd be funny, though, if I did that. I've been black the whole time. I did like a 23andMe and said I was 13% Irish. I was like, what? Where'd that come from? Are you serious? That's weird, you know? I do lie, but I'm not a liar, okay? I do regular lies. You know, I'll say stuff like on my way, or if I'm on a plane in emergency exit row and the flight attendant's like, hey, are you willing and able to sacrifice your life for a bunch of strangers? I'm like, yeah, I'm lying. I just want to do this. I'm not about to sacrifice nothing. I want leg room. I'm not about to sit all the way in the back. People scooting their booty past my neck. Excuse me, sorry. I'm so sorry. I just got to get the row, 87. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, did I pass it? Okay, here I go. Here's my booty again, stranger. Here's my booty. You ever come back from the restroom on a plane and someone's going to the restroom and you're like, oh, there's no room at all. Like, somebody about to take it to the face. I don't know which side I'm gonna give them, but didn't you skip me a line earlier? You know, you gotta pick and choose who you do it to. But, yeah, man. Planes are weird, man. They got like, I don't understand why the seats have flotation devices. Like, all of them have flotation devices, but not parachutes, right? Because we're flying over mostly not water. So why are these, they just have flotation devices. I'm bringing a parachute. Next time I go on the plane, I'm bringing another bag. They're like, why you got another bag? Don't worry about me, player. Don't worry about me. People gonna start freaking out. It's turbulence. It's turbulence. They gonna look at me, why aren't you freaking out? I'm like, don't worry about why I'm not freaking out. Where's Mercy X row? Is it over here? Let me see where's the Mercy at. Oh, man. But yeah, man, good to be alive. So, man. Yeah, I was, my mom named me Preacher. She called me Preacher. I didn't think of it. People think I thought of it. I didn't. When I was 2 weeks old, a bunch of people kept telling my mom, it's like, when he gets older, he's gonna be a preacher. He's gonna be a pastor. That's what they seen in me at 2 weeks old. I don't know what I was saying. At 2 weeks old, to give the impression I was gonna be a, what could I say? Goo goo gaga, goo, can I get a wire? You know, I don't know if I was changing my mom's milk and the wine. I don't remember, you know, but I'll tell people my name is Preacher. Everyone here is Preacher, and they're like, there's no way he just said Preacher. So they start to think of different names on their own. They're like, what's your name? I'm like, Preacher. They're like, Richard? I'm like, nope. Clearly started with a P. They're like, Preston? And I'm like, I'm black, okay? You know my name isn't Preston. There's no such thing as a Black Preston. And if there is one, there's one, and it's probably called Black Preston, because that's how it works. I don't make the rules. That's like a white dude named Jamal. He white Jamal. Everybody know that. People get mad at my name. Are you an actual pastor? No, I'm not a pastor. Well, I'm not calling you that. Well, why would I call you that if you're not even blah, blah, blah. All right, don't call me that then. But I got news for you. You know Jesus? He ain't actually Jesus, okay? Dr. Dre, not a doctor. Surprise. Everybody knows that The Rock is a human. I don't know why we're doing this. Preacher's not a weird name. I met some kid named Thevin with a TH. She's like, oh, I'm Thevin. I was like, your mom has a lisp, okay? no such thing as a Thevin. It's either her or the doctor's fault. I don't know who said it first. What's his name? Thevin. How many pounds he weigh? Thevin. You don't see the coincidence? I don't want to go to hell. I want to go to Thevin. Like, clearly, she got braces. You can tell that she spit when she talked because I used to have braces. It flies out your mouth. You can't help it, you know? You be like, what's up, you know? People get mad at you. I was looking at something earlier. I can't help it. I got braces, you know? Speaking of braces, anybody ever been to London? Because they don't believe in those. That's not a myth. I thought that was a myth, bro. All of them just all look like they in hell grenades at the same time. Like, man, they don't need can openers down there. You understand? Like, they just all look like Nigel Thornberry. But I had braces. I had Invisalign braces, which are, because my teeth were jacked up. I mean, I had a regular amount of jacked up. Like, I had gaps. Like, one time, I was eating cereal, and my spoon was missing. I was like, wait a second. This is the third time, so I decided to get some braces. I got Invisalign braces, which are great, because you can't see them, but then you had some people that had regular braces growing up. They get mad at me as if I invented Invisalign braces, like, you didn't go through the struggle. My lips were bleeding. Nobody cares, bruh. If you had braces growing up, you probably had money, so I don't feel bad for you looking weird at 11. You're supposed to. I just stopped looking like a Pokemon 3 years ago. Let me be happy, man. People trying to catch me. I choose you, preacher choose. Leave me alone. I'm trying to live my life. You guys laughed at that, but you honestly should have laughed harder. But whatever, it's fine. It's cool. Just gonna ruin my special. That was hilarious, man. You ever see a meme and you're laughing, you're like dying laughing at it. Then you show your friend, they're not laughing. That's how I felt just now. When y'all didn't laugh at my joke. And I just tried so hard. None of y'all give me that $20, sir. I would never kill myself. I think about it every day. But I'm not gonna, you know. That was dark. Speaking of dark, I'm black. You know, like, I am. I'm black. My whole body's black. Y'all notice that? Except this part. Ain't that weird? This is weird. This is not black. This is very weird. I remember as a kid that like they would ask me questions like, why you white on one side, black on the other? I was like, I don't know. I guess I didn't fully hit my growth spurt. I don't know why it works out though. Anytime I get pulled over, hey officer, I understand you don't want to give me that loan. Before you say no, no, it just comes in handy. So, that was stupid. That's what it deserved. I was born in Portland, Oregon. That's where I was born. So I think that's where I got it. Because there's no black people in Oregon. There's none. My shadow ain't even black in Oregon. There's like 4 black people. That's not true. There's 3. I left. So there's like 3 black people there. And Portland, Oregon, Portland is the whitest major city in America. And we live in Newburgh, which is like not even, Portland. And they're not, there was no black people at all. And they weren't racist down there. They just didn't like black people. And they was like, the kids weren't racist. The kids, they would always ask me, why you white? They would ask me the questions. But some of the parents, like I remember some of the parents, they were like, you can't play with my kid because you're black. And I'm like, whoa, before you say no, all right? But I was already a weird kid. I was already weird because I had like ADHD, A, B, C, D, E. I had it, I'll be talking about something like squirrel, threw me off, A lot of people think HGTV isn't real, and that's because they don't experience it. So they're like, oh, I think you might be hyper. And I am hyper. They tried to put me on medication when I was a kid. My mom was like, he'll grow out of it. She was wrong. I did not. I grew into it, baby. Became a comedian. But yeah, I was a weird kid, man. I wasn't like I collect rocks. I wasn't like that. I just, I was just kind of like, I don't got a favorite color, I feel like most people don't have favorite colors. Yeah, this lady is particular. She doesn't. She's like, I thought I was the only one. No. You wooed like there was gonna be more people, and you were like, wow, oh, only me? Okay, I thought there was more. Okay. You don't have a favorite color either? Oh, why'd you yell? Oh my gosh. That was wrong. You didn't do it right, but all right. What's your favorite color? Green? Okay, cool. Earth lady. Okay, okay, we get it. He probably clapped. He's like, yeah. You like green? No, I don't have a favorite color. Y'all doing opposites. Now, this is what I feel like. I feel like it depends. What is it for, you know? Because I like wearing yellow because yellow goes good with chocolate, but I'm not about to have a yellow car, you know? Like if you have a yellow car, you got a Lamborghini or a discount. You didn't do that on purpose. You know? It just depends. But yeah, man, I just knew I liked making people laugh. I knew I liked making people laugh when I was like 7. I was 7 years old. There was a kid and it was in recess. There was a kid on the swing, and he was Asian, and he was, this has nothing to do with the joke, but he was. I'm paying the pit. You're like, well, where's this going? Where's this going? That's not going anywhere. But he was swinging his feet on the swing, and I went in front of him, and I faked like he kicked me. But not like a karate kick, because that's racist. I faked like he regularly kicked me, right? And I'm so exaggerative, I'm like rolling in the bar, because I'm like bleeding, and this dude is like cracking up. He's like dying laughing. He's changing colors, he's laughing so hard. So him being Asian does have something to do with the story, because he definitely wasn't regular Jamal. And so I remember him laughing, and I was like, this is the coolest feeling ever. Like, I knew it was just the best feeling. I love making people laugh. And I always wanted to make people laugh, you know what I mean? And so anytime I got in class, I would try to make someone laugh. I wasn't like, people think because I'm a comedian, I was the class clown. But I wasn't. I was super quiet, right? Unless everybody was quiet. Then I was like, all right, I'll take it from here. And then I get in there, you know? But I was quiet, you know? I was quiet. People thought I was weird because I didn't cuss. You know, I did not cuss. I didn't start cussing until 2020. Isn't that great? I cuss all the time now. But before I was not cussing. I didn't even, like the first time I cussed on purpose, I was like 25. I was doing an audition in front of the director, the writer, producer. And this is before everyone believed in cooties. And my line was, get the hell out of here, right? 25 years old. All I had to say was, get the hell out of here. I had never said it before, so I couldn't stop giggling, right? They were like, all right, go ahead, do your line. I said, okay. Get the hell. They were like, someone died in this scene. I said, I know, I just usually don't cuss. And I remember the director saying, okay, well, say whatever word that makes you feel comfortable. And I was like, okay, all right. Okay, all right. Get the heck out of here. And I remember the producer saying, how about get your ass out of here? I was like, I don't feel comfortable saying that. He's like, yeah, we don't care. Get your ass out of here, though. Right? Yep. We need a 25-year-old that doesn't need cuss words or icky. Get your ass out of here. I said, who the freak you think you talking to? It was like, it's not working, get out of here. I was like, all right. Touche. Touche. That's Ruben's laugh, everybody. All right. But yeah, man, I used to get bullied a lot because I didn't, like I said, I didn't cuss. They thought I was a snitch. They was like, what kind of person, there's no adults here. You can cuss now. And I'm like, nah, man, it's bad. I used to get bullied. Anybody here get bullied? All right. Nice. 7 of y'all, the rest of y'all bullies? All right, got it. I used to get bullied a lot. I never got beat up, though, because if you can beat me up, I'm not dumb. I'm not going to fight you. So I used to get punked out as a kid all the time. Kids would be like, I'll knock you out. And I'm like, I agree. Unless there was people around, you couldn't punk me out if there was people around. One time there was a kid named Rodney. Any Rodneys here? I hate you. So this kid waited till the teacher left the classroom, right? We all know teachers leave the classroom, students gotta act up. This man took a high school book from the other side of the classroom, threw the book at the back of my head. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm gonna act like I didn't notice that. Then some kid behind me was like, oh, snap. He just threw a book at your head. Like I actually didn't notice that. So I had to get up out my desk like, who just threw a book at my head? And Rodney was like, I did it. And I was like, since nobody wants to admit it, I'ma let it slide right now. And Rodney was confused. He was like, no, I was the one who just said that I threw the book at your head. I said, oh, word, it was you, Rodney? Do it again. Then he did it again. Just like I requested, right? Yeah. I love books thrown in my head. Then he got in my face. I said, get out my face, Rodney. And he goes, or what? And I said, or Mufasa with a beard in 10th grade, because that's who he sounded like. You deliberately disobeyed me. That's what he sounded like. I told him, I was like, listen, Rodney, I'm gonna give you to the count to 147. And you gonna find out or what? And you don't wanna find out or what? I'm gonna say it one more time, I'm not gonna stop. He was like, do it. I said, oh, word. Want me to do it? Cool, say less. 1.5. 2. Dang it. Guess I gotta start again. Hopefully I finish before our teacher, Miss Lisa, come back. Before Miss Lisa come back. Come back, Lisa. She never came back. You just kept throwing books in my head. But I don't care, man. Because my life is great. I'm doing my second special, and honestly, I heard he's in jail right now. That's all right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. That's right, baby. They locked him up, threw the book at him. So I don't care what's going on. All right. I was hoping I had superpowers, at the time. I tried it too. I tried to like choke him. Everybody's tried that. Everyone in this room has sat down and didn't feel like getting up to grab the remote when they watch TV. Everybody. Because you look at the remote, you're like, man, that's kind of far right there. And you try to look around to see if anyone's gonna catch you, right? You just kind of, come to me. Levitate. Everybody's done it. I'm not the only kid that walked up the automatic door. Circus City. We've all tried it. I remember one time I was watching Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire. I seen him get bit by a spider, turned into Spider-Man. I said, that's all it takes. Because I already know where the mosquito's at. So I go over and I get bit by a mosquito on my arm. I'm like, cool, it's only a matter of time before I get these powers. But the thing about mosquitoes is never one hanging out by itself, so a bunch of them just started attacking me. I was like, oh, snap, it itches. Too much power. My mom came over. She's like, preacher, what's going on? I try to save her. Get away. I'm not preacher anymore. I'm suck man. Because mosquitoes suck your blood. That's the only thing I was thinking, right? My mom was not hearing that. You ain't sucking nothing in this house. Better suck up them dishes. She always got to ask stuff. Suck them grades up, My mom was cool. She was strict. My mom told me I couldn't have a girlfriend until I'm 16. I'm so dumb, I listened to her. I remember being 15, some girl approached me. I was like, next year, all right? Same location next year. I didn't get my first kiss until I was 18 years old. What is that? What is that? Y'all don't even know why you're clapping. Someone woo, someone don't me. I caught up now. I'm just saying before, but I was 18, first kiss playing Truth or Dare, which is kind of sad, but I counted it. I was like, I don't care, I'm counting this, bruh. 18 years old. She didn't even want to kiss me. They was like, I dare you, Monica, to kiss preacher. And she was like, and I quit. And I'm like, hold up. I just got dared to suck his toe. We can quit? We don't gotta do it? What do you mean? She was like, you ugly. I was like, you ugly too. I'm trying to help us out. Like, you. So this is another reason I was weird, because my mom forgot to talk to me about puberty, all right? She just forgot to talk to me about puberty. You can't forget to talk to your kids about puberty. I just found out, right? Can't let your kids just find out. I was just like in class one day, just sitting there like, yo. Why every time Miss Lisa walk by, I'ma blow up? What's going on right now? I had just watched the movie Aliens. I was like, am I pregnant right now? I want to get pregnant, baby. Remember my teacher walking by, she was like, hey, preacher, everyone got up and left. You can get up now. And I was like, no, I can't. She was like, yes, you can, preacher. I was like, I'm not preacher anymore. I'm suck, man. She was like, what? I was like, I don't know why I said that. So when I was 16, I went to this program called Job Corps. I thought it was like some type of summer camp, and it wasn't. It was like jail, and it was. I know it was like jail, because every kid there with me was like, this is better than jail. So, you know, didn't make me feel safe. One kid got kicked out for selling drugs, right? He got kicked out, and they was like, who snitched, huh? Probably that one kid they call Pastor. Yeah, that guy that doesn't cuss and has never masturbated before. Yeah. He's a snitch. What kind of 16-year-old don't masturbate? I'm like, first off, I've never masturbated before because it's against the Bible, all right? And it's gay, you know? Then I turned 17, tried it out, and I was like, oh, snap, I'm gay. Like, I did not know. I didn't know I was gay, you know? I'm not gay. I'm not gay. I just need to clarify on anyone after the show. Was that a joke or was that a joke? You know, I'm not. I did have a couple of gay roommates, not at the same time. I wasn't like living in a gay house, but I had a gay roommate. When I was living in Orlando, Florida, and when I first moved to LA, I had a gay roommate, and we shared a room. It's expensive, and I'll tell some guys that, and they're like, you shared a room with a gay dude? I can't share in a room with no gay dude. And I'm like, why? You don't trust yourself? I'm like, what do you think's gonna happen? You know, like, it's not COVID. He's not gonna cough and get it on me. That's not how it works. He's gotta be on me, you know? So, but I had no issues with him. That's not true. I hated him because he kept stealing my money. I would leave money on my bed. I would leave, come back. I'm like, where's my money? He's like, my money gone too. And I'm like, we're the only ones here, you know? Like, you know? He kept trying to convince me I was also gay, you know? He's like, come on, man, everybody's a little gay. And I was like, not everybody, you know? It's not a 23andMe and I get my test results back. Oh, snap. Nigeria, they gay. That's crazy. That's great. I didn't even realize. Yeah, I mean, my oldest brother's gay and I'm vegan, so we get mixed up a lot for some reason. I don't know why. I told my mom I was a vegan. She goes, you too? I was like, that is not how it works. I just told you I don't eat meat. I'm the least gay in the family, you know? Oh, man. That's how kids drink water. Bro, kids forget they can breathe when they drink water. It's like, breathe, stupid. How you forget something you do on autopilot? I'm gonna put this back for continuity, so I don't need people laughing. Wait a second, that cap wasn't there. This was hilarious, but wait a second. This is bothering me, man. I got my OC, my MSNBC is over. I didn't want to ruin it for anyone else, but it's tangled. Because now y'all gonna be like, ha ha ha. It's annoying though. It is, a little bit. Sorry. I'm sorry I get distracted. I told you I got LGBTQ, man. I know what I was talking about. I was drinking water. I keep drinking water and I already gotta pee, you know? Like, I don't know why y'all laughing. Y'all in the splash zone. You better hope I make it. Like, you ever have to use the bathroom round? You real bad. You at a public restroom, right? Instead of it saying men and women, they try to be creative. It's like a boat and a fish. You're like, which one? Everyone's walked to the wrong restroom. Every woman in here has walked in and been like, when they put urinals inside the restroom, and every dude has walked in like, is that a couch? They got a couch inside the, is that a vending machine? What kind of candy is that? They got lotion inside the replica? Can't have lotion in the men's restroom. Because we're not gonna use it. That's the why y'all laughing? Oh, you gonna Peter my special? This is my second special! And you can't even pee on yourself for me. You do not love me. You do not. Don't even come back. I did my first special without you. I'm gonna do my second special without you. Yeah, I wrote like 3 fire jokes without you. Didn't I do good? Yeah, to hell with you. Why don't she want me, man? All right. That's a Will Smith. Oh, look at you using her as a sacrifice. Look at you. Using her as a sacrifice. What are you doing? You sitting down on the stairs? What are you doing? Oh, your phone? Oh, you getting her phone? Oh, okay. Oh, now, okay. Okay, all right. See you later. All right, see you later. All right, see you later. Okay. Do they got speakers in the bathroom? You got this. Just breathe. Let it out. All right. So when she comes back from the restroom, everybody start clapping. Right? Loud, like get super loud, like yeah, you pooped. You know, like be super supportive and look at her the whole time, like yeah, 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 the whole time. She does. Anyway, that's why I don't like dolphins. You know, dolphins are smart. You know dolphins have like 2 brains? Like one brain is like working while the other one is sleeping. They're super smart. Dolphins apparently are smarter than like people. They just don't have thumbs to build colonies. You know, like they just can't. The whole time they're like, I'm way smarter than you. You don't understand. They just can't. Anyway, drink some more water. I drink a lot of water because I'm thirsty. Speaking of thirsty, I'm single, and I've been single. All right, cool. I'm gonna wait till the lights come on. But I've been single for like I think 3 years. No, wait, 5 years. 5 years, 2 months, 8 days, 9 hours. I don't fully remember. But we broke up, and my ex is great. I pick really good exes. All my exes are beautiful, smart, they're kind, they're great, man. I'm not gonna trash my ex. You ever meet that dude? I don't know what it is. Every girl I meet crazy. You're the reason that they're crazy. Right? Yeah. I mean, everyone clapping is crazy, but I'm just, you're crazy. I dated one girl that was crazy, and I knew it the whole time. The whole time. I remember the first date we went on, I was like, oh, I'm gonna try it out. It was amazing, man. We broke up like 40 times. Super toxic. I loved it. One of the times we broke up, right, I was in the kitchen and she walked up behind me, tapped me on the shoulder. I turned around, she had like sleeping pills in her hand. And she goes, if you break up with me one more time, I'm gonna take all these pills. And I was like, babe, there's only 3 pills in your hand. You're gonna wake up at noon. I don't know what you're trying to threaten me. She's like, there was only 3 left. I was like, yeah, but we live next to Walgreens. You didn't even try. Like, that's the problem in this relationship. I feel like I'm the only one trying, and you're not even putting any effort in. I gotta walk you to Walgreens. No, it's cool, man. But yeah, so when I lived in Memphis went from Oregon to Memphis, and my last, when I decided to leave Memphis, I was actually, it was around my birthday. Anybody got a birthday? Because I know anybody got a birthday? It's cool. Yeah, I have a birthday every year, and I had I've only had like one bad birthday. It was my 19th. Everyone forgot it was my birthday. Everyone, except my mom and my brother. My mom, she got me a $100 Applebee's gift card, right? Yep, that's right, left me 11. And then my brother, he was like, I realized everyone forgot about your birthday, so I'm gonna take you out to eat. You hungry? I was like, I'm always hungry. He's like, cool, because I heard mom gave you an Applebee's gift card or something. I said, you want me to take you out with my birthday gift on my birthday? And I was angry and I was driving. When you're angry and you're driving, what do? You crash every time you're angry and you're driving? Why'd you say, that was weird. I wasn't expecting, no. So, okay, everyone else said speed, you the only one. You die every time. That's weird. You was very confident. No, that's not what happens. But, Hey. What are y'all doing? Oh, y'all clap? Oh, because she got back from the restroom or something? Why would y'all do that? That was weird. All right, welcome back, I guess. Is it like a Burbank thing? Why would y'all start clapping? This is very weird. Oh, welcome back. Welcome back. Y'all wash your hands? You did? All right. I believe you. Lick your hand then. That's not a lick. You didn't lick it, you nasty. Yeah. Nobody high-five her at all, bruh. All right. I like how y'all came back, same exact time. You done, girl? Me too. You just walk out. Women are the only people that go to the restroom in groups. You rarely see dudes. I got to pee, Brandon. Let's roll, brother. Just had some early. Let's get out of here, man. Where's Tyler at? Tyler here? All three of us, we can go together, Hopefully they got a couch we could take selfies, that'd be great. Is that lotion? All right, so we're gonna edit this. So my birthday. So I'm just gonna go back. So my birthday, I was angry and I was driving. Everybody knows when you're angry and you're driving, you crash. So I was speeding really hard. I get pulled over, right? The cop gets out of the car. It's a black cop, so immediately I'm like, yeah, about to get a discount. So he walks over, right? He goes, let me see your license registration, please. I panicked and I gave him my Applebee's gift card. He goes, you trying to bribe me with an Applebee's gift card? Get out the car. And when he said that on the inside, I was like, it's my birthday. But on the outside, I just turned 19. I'm trying to be tough in front of my brother. I'm like, I got a car, don't matter to me, cuz. Oh, you gonna put cuffs on me? Okay, you think it's the first time I've been in cuffs? Because it was. I was like, these are so cold. And he goes, what's up with your attitude? And I was like, I ain't got no attitude. But I said it like that. So he starts to put me in the back of the cop car. As he's doing that on the inside, I was like, it's my birthday. But on the outside, I'm like, it's my birthday. And I peed on myself a little bit. It wasn't like a full amount of pee. It was right before the cutoff point. I was like, ooh, that was almost unstoppable. And so I get inside the back of the cop car because he wouldn't let me in the front. And he goes, hey, man, what's going on? I was like, it's my birthday. Everybody forgot. And then he checks my ID, sees it's my birthday, and says, all right, man, get out of here. I was like, are you serious? He goes, yes, I'm serious. Hurry up and get out before I change my mind. And I was like, oh, snap, man, but like I'm in cuffs right now. And he says, Oh yeah, my bad. Let me get out. Then he gets out, he unlocks the door, he uncuffs me, goes, hey man, just slow down. I was like, thank you so much, officer. I start walking back to the car, hit that little spin move, hey. You know that spin move where you try to wipe all the tears before your brother sees you crying? I did that one. And I get in the car, my brother's like, I already heard you crying. I was like, I don't care, it's my birthday. I'll cry if I want to. Like, you know, you would cry too if it happened to you. And, you know, the cop, he pulled up right next to me. And he rolled down the window and says, hey man, happy birthday. Pulls off. I'm like, wow, this man just stole my Applebee's gift card. It's the worst birthday ever, man. I left Memphis after that. I left Memphis. I went back to Portland for a little bit. I went to Orlando. Orlando's pretty cool. Orlando was pretty cool. I got a dog when I was in Orlando. Anybody? Yeah, I had a dog. Guess what kind of dog I had? A golden retriever? Nope, that wasn't it. A lab? Nope. Huh? You guys are bad. Who said pit bull? Racist. No, I'm joking. It wasn't a pit. It wasn't. You guys, it was a Chihuahua. You guys were way off. It was a Chihuahua. He was a no, stop guessing. You're wrong. I told you the answer. That's like if I was like in class and I was like C. You're like, I'm gonna try B. Let me get. I told you. So it was a Chihuahua. He's a Chihuahua Yorkie. He was super cute, man. He was super. Yep. He was. His name was Tank. He was 12 pounds. And the way I got him was this girl. She was like, hey, you want a dog? I was like, this is my chance. And it wasn't. She just left me. Single parent father. You know? I used to call him my son. I'm like, this is like my son. Then one day he started humping my leg, and I was like, never mind. You cannot be my son and my baby daddy. So I just stopped calling him my son. He'd be on the other side of the living room getting started, like, oh snap, there's some new jeans, preacher? I ain't never seen no jeans like that in my life. Like, no, yes, they're new jeans, because you keep ruining them. So, but he was super cute, man. He was adorable. Everybody wanted to pet him. You know, one time I was walking him in my neighborhood, and this homeless dude, I didn't know he was homeless, he was on the cover, but he walks up and he goes, that's a good looking dog right there. I'm like, yeah, his name is Tank. He goes, yeah. I'm like, oh. Don't pet him, he doesn't like new people. If it's the new person tries to pet him, he's gonna bite you. He's like, no, trust me. I'm good with dogs. I said, I don't care how good you are with dogs, all right? Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. That's my, she like, I like this 4D experience. So I'm gonna go ahead and yell out my part of the joke. But you're right. I mean, when I was writing the joke, I don't remember putting you in it, but I appreciate you ad-libbing right there. Your extra loud self. I was like, who gave you a microphone? I don't even understand. You the same one that knocked someone's iPhone down, but your booty like, sorry, I gotta go to the bathroom. That ain't your dog. All right. So dogs have personalities like humans. You can't go up to a human like, hey, that's a good looking human right there. I don't really like people. No, trust me. I'm good with people. You can't do that. He tries to pet him anyway. Bro, oh my gosh, your dog bit me. I said, I'm so sorry. I was trying to warn you. He doesn't like new people. He was like, I can't believe your dog bit me. I said, I'm sorry. He was like, give me $10. I was like, what? He's like, your dog bit me, give me $10. He said it in a way like, everybody knows if the dog bites you, it's $10. He was so confident. I was like, yeah, I forgot about that rule. I just gave him $10. He was like, thank you, brother. God bless. He just walks off. I was like, this man scammed me for $10? There's better ways to make money besides getting bit by dogs $10 at a time. How was work, baby? It was great. I made $115. 15? I didn't get fully bit by the last one. They gave me $5. He was so cute. People didn't think it was my dog. One lady thought I stole him. Yeah, I'm not gonna say what race she was because it doesn't matter that she was white. And she walked up to me, she was like, is that the dog that went missing yesterday? And I was like, no, it's my dog. She goes, are you sure? And I was like, yep, why would I steal the dog and lie about it, then be like the second time, you know what? I was lying, I did. I stole the dog and walked it in the same neighborhood I just stole it from. That's like robbing a bank. Put all the money in the bag. That's right. And let me open the savings real quick, all right? Here's my birth certificate. Y'all got a rewards program? I'm trying to build my credit up. If you guys can do that real quick. He's my dog. She goes, I'm sorry, he's so cute. And I'm like, I get it. He's like, he's super cute, I get it. You want to pet him? Get her, Tank. He's my secret weapon. He was a secret weapon. He was so cool. I loved him, man. Like, I remember people talking about dogs, like, this is my best friend. And I'm like, that's because you don't have any friends, you know? He was just annoying at first. Like, I had to pay $500 for him to stay at my apartment complex. I didn't pay it. I just convinced the apartment complex I was the one barking. But he was, you know, he was expensive, and he was just, you know, but then he became like my best friend for real. And I knew he was my best friend, you know, one day when I was like, all my roommates were gone, I waited till they were gone because I was having like a bad day, and I started ugly crying, which is the only way to cry. No one looks sexy crying, you know. And if you think someone looks sexy crying, then you need help, because that's weird. Very weird. If you at a funeral, yeah, get it out. Look at that face. Don't wipe it. Yeah, look at that face, so wet. I like them cheeks. That's weird, you know. So I was crying, and I remember Tank, he ran over, and he got on his hind legs, and he started licking my tears. And yeah, it worked. I just stopped crying immediately. And it works. Any girl I've ever dated after that, if they start crying, I lick their tears. They just stop. I can't believe I'm in there, right? They're not happy. They're kind of confused, but they stop. They're like, are you licking my face right now? You stop, though. I just got fired. But come on now. You stop, so I win. And yeah, I remember I was kind of sad because everything I did in Orlando, it was tailored towards comedy. Any job I had, any relationship, I always did it for comedy. And I was like, I'm not gonna make it as a comedian in Orlando, Florida. So I had to move to LA. So I saved up a bunch of money, and no matter how much money I saved up, LA's expensive. I wasn't gonna be able to take Tank initially. So I had to sit Tank down like a psycho, because that's what you do when you have a dog. You know what I mean? You kind of just talk to them like a human when you have them too long. And I was like, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go save up a bunch of money for like a couple months. I'm gonna ship you out, and you can get your own bed, even though he keep jumping in mine. And you know, the whole time I'm talking to him, he like, when we going outside? You know, like he doesn't know. I can leave for 10 minutes and Tank's like, I thought you were dead, right? So, I talked to him, and I was like, it was kind of sad, because I was like, he doesn't realize I'm leaving for 2 months, and I broke down, started sexy crying, and I did. I knew it was sexy because he started humping my leg again, and I let him get it out. I was like, this is the last time. Get it out, my child. Go ahead. And I moved to LA in 2016, and I wasn't like homeless, but I was flirting with it. You know, I was like, what's your name, homeless? You know, and I found a place on Craigslist, Park La Brea, mistake, and I moved in. I had 5 roommates, 6 dudes in a 2-bedroom. One dude slept in his own room. Another guy in the hallway, another guy in the fridge or something. Another guy in the closet, another guy out the closet. That was my roommate. And this dude was an alcoholic, man. We got in a fight one day because he was coming home drunk all the time. He kept waking me up, and then I was fed up. 3 o'clock in the morning, he's drunk, coming in, talking on the phone. And I'm like, hey, man, take that outside. He throws his phone down. He's like, what you gonna do about it, man? Huh? What you gonna do about it? You ain't gonna do nothing about it. And I said, you don't wanna find out what I'm gonna do. He gets in my face, he's like, do something about it. And I was like 15 pounds bigger than I am now. I was jacked. And Jill went up the hill to get some more protein, baby. And I started choking this dude immediately, and I was squeezing his neck. And I remember him not fighting it. And I was like, that's kind of weird, because I'm squeezing hard. And I remember him not fighting it, and I remember him going, yes, daddy. And I was like, whoa, hey. I was like, you tricked me, man. This is not a reward. I'm angry right now. And so I stopped choking him. I threw him out the house like Jazzy Jeff from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I was like, West Philadelphia, born and raised. And I locked the door. He started banging on the door. Let me back in. I was like, psych, I am not letting you back in. The cops come to my apartment so fast. I was like, are we neighbors? Because I don't remember meeting you when I was looking for sugar. And I remember one of the cops, walks over to my roommate, goes, hey, what's going on? And my roommate was like, I was sleeping. He woke me up, threw me outside. And I was like, he lied. Cop comes inside, goes, hey, so your boyfriend's saying that... I said, that's not my boyfriend. He's like, I don't care why y'all broke up. That's not my business. Trying to figure out why you threw him outside. I said, I threw him outside because he's clearly drunk. He came in and attacked me. I lied. Attacked me. So I put him outside. Cop goes, all right, goes back to my roommate and goes, hey, so your ex-boyfriend's saying that you attacked him first. And my roommate was like, what? He was choking me. Then the cop was like, I don't need to know about y'all sex life. Stop telling me your business. And I'm dying laughing. Not out loud, because I don't want to go to jail, so I'm doing the quiet laugh. You know what I mean? You know that quiet laugh where you like, you know that laugh where you're like, thank God my best friend ain't next to me to hit me with that, one of them laughs, right? And I was doing a great job holding it in. I was like, calm down. And I remember the cop being fed up. He goes, listen, y'all could either make up or both of y'all go to jail. And my roommate was so drunk, he goes, well, I guess we going to jail. And I was like, no, we're not. I can't go to jail. I smile too much. I got a big booty. That's a bad combination. And I remember the cop, he came inside and he goes, he goes, all right, we're cutting this out. So he goes, he's saying he wants to go to jail. So if he wants to go to jail, I'm gonna arrest both of y'all. All right, you wanna maybe talk to him for a second? And I was like, yeah. Let me talk to him because he's mad right now and I'm not trying to go to jail. So let me talk to him. Babe! What do you mean jail? And I remember the cop closing the door. He goes, listen, y'all are clearly in an abusive relationship. All right? And I was like, I know he said he gonna change, but he never do. I can't do this, okay? I wasn't even gay at first. He comped on me. I didn't know that's how it works. And I remember, you know, everyone woosah, we calmed down, we stopped by. And then the people downstairs, they heard us fighting. They were like, oh, no one's supposed to be in that apartment. So the people we were paying off of Craigslist, it wasn't their apartment complex, so we just giving someone money that wasn't their apartment. So they were like, you need to get out of here in 24 hours or you're going to jail for real. And so then I was homeless for real. And I wasn't like homeless. You know, some people are like, I'm homeless, but then they live in their car. Not me, you know, I was homeless. And so I remember calling up my roommate from back in Florida and I was like, hey, so, you know, I got kicked out. So I'm gonna need you to, I need you to hold Tank for like maybe one more month. And then they were like, don't worry about it. You know, we gave Tank to a shelter. I said, what? He goes, yeah, we gave Tank to a shelter. He was barking a lot. He wasn't supposed to be there. And then he bit somebody. So we gave him to a shelter. And I was like, well, why didn't you tell me? You should have told me before you gave my dog away. And they're like, you're homeless. What are you gonna do? That is kind of true though. I wanted to be mad, but like, how many times you see a homeless person with a dog? You never look at the dog like, man, that dog should have never dropped out of college. You never look at that. And I was like, you know, I thought about it, and I was like, he's the cutest dog ever. I mean, ever. So he definitely got adopted. And I'm never gonna be homeless again, and it works out. So, but I do to that store, and people ask, you know, it's sad, and people ask me all the time, they're like, hey, like, are you still sad about that? Yeah. Yeah, I'm sad. I'd be lying if I said I didn't cry some nights. I'm probably gonna cry tonight, if I'm being honest. I am. I know you're waiting on something funny, but I do want to just say, I'm gonna cry. So if anybody wants to lick my tears. Yeah, people like dogs, man. People like dogs a lot. You know what? People like dogs more than they like people. You know, you can't, you know, because I can't go up to a random person like, hey, random stranger I never met before in my life. I want to lick you in your face. Like dogs are just adorable crackheads. You ever notice that? Come on, man. Let me give one lick. You ever see a dog outside of a car window? They're freaking out. This is the greatest life ever. I can't breathe. And I'm back. They just keep going back. Say hi to me. Get your sniff on. What's up? Say hi. I'm a dog. How long you had that leg for? That's a nice looking leg right there. I ain't never. What if I was so excited to see you, I peed on myself, right? You be like, did you just pee on yourself? I thought you were going forever. And stop calling me Preston. I'm clearly a black lab. I don't know why. Cows are like dogs. They're like dogs. They just can't sit on your lap because you'll die, right? They're big. But cows are like, they're super adorable. I used to think cows had milk all the time. I thought cows ate grass and milk just came out. That's what I thought happened. I don't care if you chuckle. There's other people in the crowd that's like, that's not what happened. I'm not the only one. I thought cows ate grass and milk came out, but then you realize cows are mammals. That's like thinking women have milk all the time. Like you just go to a Starbucks, you're like, hey, you mind if I get a latte? And they're like, yeah, for sure. Would you like soy or Linda? Which one would you like? I got you, Linda! Bring your milk, Linda. Linda comes back with a giant booth. She mad. Who didn't get almond milk? Are these the cups? Let me know if you need some more Linda Boo. I remember when I first moved to LA, I got a sunburn. Are y'all looking at me? Did y'all hear what I said? I got a sunburn. I didn't know I got sunburns. My skin was peeling. I was like, man, this Dollar Tree lotion done messed up my skin. This girl was like, you got a sunburn. I was like, are you looking at me? I'm invincible. I'm suck, man. She's like, what? And I was like, nothing. I'm just saying that, like, I can't get a sunburn. I was like, I know it's not, because I can touch it. Like, I've touched white people that have sunburns before, right? You don't have to touch a white person with a sunburn. You can hover your hand over. Like, white people would not make it as slaves, you know? Could you imagine? Bunch of white people in the field picking avocados. I want to speak to the slave manager, okay? Where's Black Preston? If it was reversed, white people, y'all would still be slaves to this day. How you gonna get out? What, you gonna outrun black people? Okay. Timothy, what do you think you're doing, man? Why would I need a horse? What are you talking about? You think we don't know defense? Whoa, hey, get that out of here, man. 3-time defensive slave of the year, bro. You ain't getting past this. I did that joke in South Carolina. It didn't work, and they weren't laughing, man. This lady walked up to me. I just want to let you know, I thought you were hilarious. Then you did that white slave joke, and it made me feel uncomfortable. I was like, you know who else is uncomfortable? Slaves. My name is Preacher Lawson. Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind. I hope I can back it up. Oh Lord. Uh-oh. No, this is the thing. I have not been to St. Louis much, but I got in last night, and I've had a great time so far. You have a beautiful, beautiful city. You have a beautiful museum. Lots of stolen art. Lots of, like, y'all got it good. Like, I was looking around like, wow, that's from Egypt. Oof. And he really in there too. That's crazy. Oh, I had some great pancakes. You know, this has been wonderful, and the people here are incredibly sweet, incredibly nice. Yeah, this is like. But y'all have some. Y'all do have some demons, all right? Like this is chaotic. Like y'all have the Midwest nice on lock. I'm just saying, a cut below that, like a paper cut below that. Y'all are wildin', like. So I flew in. I didn't have a car, so I've taken like 4 Ubers since I've been here for very short trips, right? Very short. We're talking less than $10 trips, just over here to over here, because I don't know if I'm gonna make it on foot, right? Like this is not the most walkable city. Like I walked out of my hotel thinking like, I'll just take a walk, and I look both ways, and I look and the way that this truck zoomed past me. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and order, you know, just so I have some armor around me. And the dude driving couldn't have been nicer. I get in, he's like, Josh. I was like, yeah, wow, you really excited, like you know me. This is crazy. Excited to see you. I get in and we're talking about the day and everything. And then I don't know, like truly out of nowhere, my man just looks ahead and his whole face changes, and he yells out in the car. So his windows aren't down. Nobody can hear him but me. This is for nobody but him and I. This man goes, it doesn't take 2 lanes to turn right. And I don't know if this is how everybody is driving. I don't know if this is like the 4th time this has happened today. But the way he snapped, I thought he was going to get out of the car. And not like stop the car and get the other guy to stop and get out and fight. I mean Mission Impossible, leave me behind. Get out of the window while the wheel is still turning. This has been, oh wow. Like y'all really have some people out here where I'm like, okay, all right. That's a real New Yorker. You just don't know it. Like you've been raised here. So then you're like, no, let's be polite, make eye contact and everything. But then the way that just, there was a guy, okay, so it wasn't even, like y'all don't have the busiest walkways, okay? So there's really only I was walking today. Everybody else was in a vehicle. And so I saw these 2 guys. I can't remember the name of the grocery store now, but like I was in the grocery store and these 2 guys bumped into each other and they both like over apologized, right? They both bumped in and he was, I'm sorry, and the other guy was like, I'm so sorry, brother. I wasn't even paying attention to you. And he's like, well, what's on your mind, buddy? And he's like, I just been going through a lot, you know what I mean? Other man was like, well, you know, this is what the grocery store's for, to meet people, to talk about things. I was like in the distance just getting disgusted. I was like, when are y'all gonna fight already? This is gross. Did y'all have a good Halloween? No? Okay. I know it's over, but I'm like the opposite. I talk about Halloween and watch horror movies way longer after Halloween is over. I'm like the opposite of the Christmas people, because some of the Christmas people have already started. They've already broken out the Mariah Carey. They've already done certain stuff, and I'm still stuck on Halloween. It was one of my favorite holidays growing up. And my grandma would sometimes take me trick-or-treating. And my grandma was one of my favorite people. And I remember it was one year she took me, I think I dressed up as Superman or something, and she had me, and she loved to take me places. This is one of my core memories, right? My grandma sees me in my little Superman outfit, and she's like, "You go, Superman." And then I did a little cape thing. I was like, and then she's got me hand in hand, and we decided to, go to a couple houses, go trick-or-treating. Now, this was not the best neighborhood, so there was gonna be very little trick-or-treating, period. Like, this is already, anybody who's from a place that is not where you wanna stay knows what I'm talking about. So we go up to the first house, and I knock on the door, they open, I'm like, trick-or-treat, and then they give me a little, maybe 2-3 pieces of candy, and then in the distance, we hear some gunshots. And then my grandma was like, "Can you give him a couple extra pieces? Because we gonna go back home right now." So this really is, not to put all the pressure on you, but like, come to think about it, you don't want to be opening your door that much tonight, so you might as well just give him the bag. I mean. And so we went back to my grandma's house, and I'm sitting there, and like part of the joy of trick-or-treat isn't just getting the candy. It's like going places, having the adults be like, "Oh, Superman, I had no idea," or whatever. Just the whole experience. And so the fact that I wasn't gonna get to do it, I was bummed out. I was like 8. I was just bummed out, right? And so after maybe 10 minutes passed, I turned to my grandma. I'm like, "Grandma, are you sure we can't go back out and trick-or-treat?" And I don't know if y'all who grew up in the South here, but Southern grandmas especially, they turn on you. Very, very sweet people, but as soon as you like cross, they just turn, right? So I'm like, "Grandma, can't we go trick-or-treat just for a little while, And my grandma turns to me, she's like, "Boy, are you stupid? Are you stupid? Did you not hear the gunshot?" And then she made me sit there with her, right? And this took all 5 minutes. I don't want you to think she was torturing me or anything. But she sat with me there for 5 minutes and just made me count out the gunshots with her. And every once in a while, my grandma would be like, "That's you? That's you too." My grandma cracked me up because, especially anybody who has grandparents knows that in one form or another, your grandparents have lived long enough that they have some arch nemesis out there. They take different forms, but there was this one person that was one of my grandma's arch nemesis. We still don't know who it is, but they would come every Halloween to trick-or-treat, and my grandma hated that. She never wanted to give him candy because she was like, "That's an adult." Like, he little, but that's an adult. I know an adult when I see one. And then even I was kind of like, "Come on, just it's the holiday and everything." She's like, "No, he grown, okay? I don't care how little he is, he grown. There's a holiday for the children. How he come every year and the same thing don't grow, all right?" That's an adult. But Halloween also has its downsides, Like I had years when I lived in Chicago, people would come and trick or treat, and there was one year that I heard the trick or treat, and I opened the door, and it couldn't have been a bigger man. Like it was, I was looking at him, and he was looking down at me, and he had a bag, but it wasn't even a bag. He had a pillowcase, and he was like, "Trick or treat." And like, I'm not even kidding. The dude, okay, so open door, the pillowcase is out, right? Like, "Trick or treat," and then we stared at each other, and after a while, he was just like. And I'm trying to look behind him for a kid or something. I'm like, "Oh,
Do you have any kids? He's like, nah, it's just me, dog. You know what I mean? He looked like he robbed the candy, you know what I mean? Like, and now I got my door all open, my apartment exposed. You know, and so I was like, oh, you know, try and make conversation while I fiddle for these mini-sized Snickers. Like, you know how when you okay, let's say you are in a parking lot and there's somebody chasing you like Freddy Krueger style, and you try to get the keys and the keys won't be keys. See what I'm talking about? Where you like struggling, you're like, come on now, come on. It's not even about the key, getting the key in the keyhole. It's about getting the keys in your hands, like getting some purchase on the keys. Like you're like, come on, come on. It was like that with the Snickers. None of the Snickers wanted to stay in my hand. I think I had sweat so much from how big this man was that all the Snickers are slipping. So I'm just in my little in the Snickers bag, trying to get a handful, and they just keep slipping through my fingers like they ain't all melted or something. And I'm trying to make conversation like, what? So what are you supposed to be? And he was, this is the coldest shit I've ever heard in my life. He was really terrified. He looked at me, he was like, what am I supposed to be? I'm trick-or-treating. I was like, oh God, take the bag, take the bag. Take the whole bag. Oh my God. I've never heard trick-or-treat used as what, this is what I'm going as. Truly jarring. I don't know if y'all saw, but Sam Bankman-Fried was found guilty on all charges. If you don't know who Sam Bankman-Fried is, he's the dude who looked like somebody microwave Shia LaBeouf. He was behind a multi-billion-dollar crypto scandal, and took a lot of people's money. God had a lot of powerful friends, so he could take a lot of people's money. He was found guilty, and he made a serious mistake. He stole money from rich people. Well, when you think about it, it's really all he did wrong. If you steal from the poor, you're gonna be pretty good off. Like, I don't know. This dude is gonna go away for a long time, which is crazy because I don't really understand what he did. But I'm glad he didn't do it to me. I'm like, you ever just, because I never got into crypto because I didn't understand it, so you ever just be so dumb you miss a whole tragedy? Because I saw the whole thing coming. I was having FOMO and everything, and then everybody started losing their money. I was like, maybe it pays to not read sometimes. Maybe it's to my benefit that I have stayed as ignorant as possible on very specific subjects in life. Did everybody get their Spotify Wrapped? Yeah, okay. I think Apple Music does it too now. This is my thing. I feel like those Wraps are the closest things apps have to doing an intervention. Because the app will come to you at the end of the year and be like, hey, I'm not judging. There's no judgment here. I'm just saying I looked at the data. It's not even my opinion. This is just hardline facts. I looked at the data, and you've been listening to a lot of Imagine Dragons. Is everything okay? Are you all right? I'm just checking. No. You were in the top 0.05% of Drake listeners. Is there therapy that we can schedule? You've listened to the song Stand by Eminem 672,000 times. I don't even know how you pulled that off, because that's more minutes than there are in the year. Playing the song that many times, but you did it. I will tell you though, we did have to alert Eminem and let him know that somebody want to stab him, I guess. I don't know. Y'all got
George Santos today. Sure. It's funny to me because George Santos' whole defense of himself was that y'all picking on me, but you got other members of Congress that are out here sleeping with lobbyists, stealing your tax dollars and everything, but you gonna put it all on me. And I get what he's in that moment. I do get what he's saying. There are plenty of people doing very crooked things in Congress that are not going to have the comeuppance that he just had. That is a fact, right? To be fair, though, George Santos is the type of person that you do the heist with, and y'all pull it off, and the next day he show up in a fur coat. And you're like, nigga, you could have laid low. What is wrong with you? He's like, what? It's fabulous. Sure, it doesn't. Because I'm not gonna lie, George Santos is a snazzy dresser. I can't hold him. He really is. Every time I saw him, he looked like he was in a different cut or something that I'd never seen before, you know, dressing from the future. This is my thing though, like, he spent all this money, campaign money, on stuff like Botox. But you know what? Good for him. He wanted to look good for you. You know who doesn't spend money on Botox? We be letting Mitch McConnell sag in front of us all the time. Nobody says anything. This man's sagging non-stop. He's swinging, he's sagging so much. If you get Mitch to turn around fast, you might catch something in the chin. You might get... You gotta do a rope-a-dope. Anytime Mitch turn around fast, you're like, oh. But George was like, no, I'm not gonna steal from you and be looking raggedy. That's not the type of person that I am. You're gonna get one or the other, all right? I can either show up looking dusty, you can keep all your little money, or you can get to see this. Spent money on OnlyFans. I say, fair enough. The little bit of OnlyFans money he spent, okay, it's improper. He should be taken to task for it, right? But you know what's way more expensive? Using tax dollars to fund a whole mistress. You know what I mean? You gotta get her an apartment. You gotta fly her where you're gonna be. You gotta pay for her real boyfriend to go to school. Like, it's a lot of expenses. Spent money on Hermes. I didn't even know what Hermes was. Luxury bags.
Hermes.
Are they men's?
Hermes. It's pronounced Hermes.
Oh, this is what happens with poor people try to pronounce. This is what happens when one of the poorest puts luxury in his mouth. Yeah. Spent money on Hermes and Versace. Yeah. Wow, no. My bad. Thank you for correcting me. Imagine if I had gone around the country saying Hermes over and over again. I guess I still don't know what a Hermes bag is. Fair enough.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize. I was the one that doesn't know how to misspell them with my mouth. That last laugh felt like you were laughing at me being poor. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't care for that one. That was you know, like you'll be a little self-deprecating and then somebody will be like, ha! It's like, wow, okay. Tell me how you really feel. Yeah. I can't drive. Thank you. Yeah, you need them? Yeah. I can't drive. I don't have a driver's license. I grew up in Louisiana, and that's where I failed the test. And so I would just have to, walk or run everywhere, which in Louisiana is both dangerous and exhausting. But I remember I took driver's ed, and came time to do my driving test. It was bad. I don't know what it was. I panicked because I was in one of those driving test cars, So it had the brakes on his side, the brakes on my side, but just the wheel on my side, right? And I drove decently at the start. I'm good at rights. If I gotta take a right, I'm a fuck up a right, all right? Like I can cut a wheel on a right. I do rights like Formula One. It's the lefts that get me. Because there's just so many places you can go when you're trying to go left, Take a wide turn, you can make a sharp left, Lefts make me nervous. And so it was a left that did me in. I was doing the test. I'd done okay, we had just started, and then I drove on 3 lawns. I had to take a left, and so then I took the left, and I guess I was not cutting the wheel tight enough, and so then before I knew it, I was on the lawn, right? Now, the first lawn was because I wanted to make sure I was avoiding the car that was oncoming, right? Like, let me go ahead and get out the way. The second lawn was because I wasn't sure if I had the room to merge back into the road. By the time I was on the third lawn, I did forget I was on lawns. I was just kind of like, well, he knows I'm doing my best. And it wasn't until he said, get off the lawn, son, that I was like, you're right. Let me go ahead and merge back into the regular street. And then I did pretty well. I did pretty well after that for a little while. But then, once again, it was time to take a left. And the light, to me, the light was green, and then it was yellow, and then it was red, and it was the fastest yellow I've ever seen in my life. It was like the green was here, and we were good. And then as I started to turn, the yellow was like it just became a red. And so then I didn't want to run the light, so I did stop in the middle of the intersection. Because in my mind, I was like, there won't be an accident if I just stop and let people go around, right? So I'm just waving people around. And so then everybody going around me, and he finally turned to me after a couple cars passed, and he was like, what are you trying to do? And I was like, I thought I'd let them go because I didn't want you to like nix me for points for running the light. And then he was like, you ran the light immediately. You were running the light when you got here. And I was like, that was a fast yellow though. And he's like, it wasn't at all. That was a regular yellow. You just panicked. I watched you. You panicked and you hit the gas, then you hit the brake, and now we're here. And so I had to take a couple more lefts, so I knew I wasn't going to pass. It was getting bad, right? And so then he made me stop. He made me stop, which I didn't even think they could do. I didn't know that you could be at the driving test. They're like, you know what? Nah. Like, I thought they had to let you finish for you to fail. He was like, nah, you points-wise, there's no way you could make a comeback right now, so let's just stop. I'm gonna drive you back. So he wanted me to stop the car and for us to switch. But he offered me something very sweet. This was very nice. He said to me, he was like, look, I know you thought you were going to get your license today. I also know that your mom brought you. So I tell you what, I'm going to drive us back. And about a block away, we can switch back. And I'll let you drive up and you can tell her it didn't work out this time, but you'll be back, right? And I was like, that's very nice. And then he immediately regretted his offer because then he was saying that to me when we were at like just a road, right? But not like, this wasn't like the intersections road. This was just like a side road we were on that nobody else was on when he told me to stop. And so then I was like, okay, sounds good. So then I just got out the car, but I didn't put it in park. I was just letting it go. Now I'm young, I'm spry, so I'm able to just pop out the car, right? So then I didn't even notice it was at a slow roll at the moment. And so I pop out and I'm walking around the car when I notice I got to keep up with the car. I'm like, oh no, I didn't put it in park. Now he has his door open, right? But he is in his mid-50s. And so he having trouble getting out. So I know what I should have done. I should have run back in, jumped in, stopped the car, put in park and everything. But in my mind, I did my job. I'm on this side right now. This is my side now. It's his job to get out. Now he is trying to stop the car, but he got 1 foot out and he doing like a Flintstone, like trying to stop because it's barely rolling. It's not like driving. It's just like a slow roll. So then he's like, come on now. Come on. He's saying, come on now to himself as he's stomping. And I don't know why he keeps stomping. Just keep your foot there. That's how Fred did it, you know? Just like, he put it and then he let it drag. But this man is just like, come on now. Come on. So I didn't get my license. I still take the train everywhere.
I'll be honest with y'all though, I've stopped getting mad at white people who just call the cops on black people for no reason. I've stopped getting upset. I've started just retaliating. I just like, now if I see a white person doing anything I don't like or understand, which is none of my business but makes me uncomfortable, I just dial those 3 numbers. You know? Well, I'll just be sitting in the park and just like, yeah, 911. She kissing the dog way too hard. This is absolutely unacceptable. This is all tongue out here. You need to hurry. It doesn't look like the dog into it. Please get here quickly. I'll be at the grocery store. I'll be checking out at the grocery store. And there'll be like a white guy in front of me. But he's not buying any food from the grocery store. He getting those weird non-food items that the grocery store sells. So it'll just be like a belt and a knife. I'm like, yeah, 911, please. He looked like Dahmer to begin with. Please hurry. I don't like the way his receipt looks. I've started just calling the cops on white people who I think are calling the cops on me. We just have a standoff. I'm like, well, I didn't dial first. She did, okay? Well, send one for her, send one for me, okay? They could just have a standoff. This might be too niche, but did y'all see the drama happening with the people that the movie The Blind Side is based off of? All right, if you don't know the story, I'll bring up to speed as quickly as possible. Basically, The Blind Side is a movie from 2009 where Sandra Bullock won the Oscar for playing the greatest white woman that's ever lived. I don't know, I'm pretty sure it goes Joan of Arc, Amelia Earhart, this lady, okay? And in the movie, she drives up her car to what I can only describe as the biggest black child that's ever been, all right? He is supposed to be in school, but he looked like a 43rd grader. This
is the grownest looking kid I've ever seen in my life. She drives up and he's like, huh? But like, his shoulders got bigger when he turned. It was insane. And then she's like, come home with me, which historically, oh. But then he comes home with them, and then they're like, you should play football. And he does, and then he makes it into the NFL because it turns out being big is a huge advantage. But now, Michael Oher, the guy that the movie is based off of, came out and said that he saw no money from the movie based on his life. And what he actually signed when he was a kid, which is when he thought they were adopting him, what he actually signed was conservatorship so that they could get his money. I know, he thought he was getting a Disney movie, and this nigga got Britney Spears. It's absolutely horrible. And what do you do in that situation? Because it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. All the damage has been done. He may never see the money, and it's probably already been spent. You know what I mean? We can't give him his story back. We can't give him back those years he spent trusting them. I think I have a solution, though. All we gotta do is give Michael 2 free tackles. He can use them whenever he wants. I mean, the cost of the medical bills alone will be exactly the money that they stole from him. He's still a huge man. And we won't make a movie, we'll just make 2 TikToks. 1 for each tackle. And then at the end of the TikTok, you'll just be like, blindsided! I'll be brief because I know people are tired of talking about him. But it does feel weird that Trump is this indicted. Like, goddamn. I thought they get him for something. I think they get him for everything. As someone who doesn't like him, I thought I was following the story pretty closely. And every time he gets indicted, I'm like, oh, I didn't even know he did that one. That's crazy. This man has 91 felony charges. That's more than most gangs. That is absolutely insane. Man, they giving Trump the full nigga treatment. This is crazy. That dude must check his hands every day to make sure they're still white. Just like, how is this happening to me? And this most recent one is the wildest, because if you aren't familiar in Fulton County, where Trump was most recently indicted, this is the first place where they said that they want to process him at the jailhouse instead of the courthouse. Because if they do it at the jailhouse, he'll have to do the fingerprint and he'll have to do the mugshot, which is what he's been avoiding this entire time, which is what lets me know that he's not a good businessman. He's not. Yo, if Trump got his mugshot taken and put that mugshot on a shirt, it would be the highest selling shirt of all time, okay? Forget Supreme. This would be the highest selling shirt in the history of people. First of all of his fans would buy it because they'd be like, look, free my dog Trump. You know what I'm saying? All of them would buy it. And then we would also buy it. We'd be like, look at this punk ass on this shirt. Look at this goofy ass on this shirt. Struggling ass on this shirt. He could be printing money, and instead he's, whatever. What a disappointment. He'd make so much money, he'd actually be a billionaire. You know what I mean? I had like a weird memory the other week of this thing happening. I thought I'd share it with you. Like my favorite person to spend time with in the entire world when I was a little kid was my grandma. And everybody knows that was blessed enough to have grandparents. Grandparents, instant daycare. Anytime your parents got to go somewhere, you're chilling with grandparents, right? So, go everywhere my grandma went. We'd always have a good time. And I remember when I was 8, especially my mom was working really hard and everything. And when I was 8, went everywhere that my grandma went, which meant I was going to hella funerals. Oh, my grandmama's squad was falling off. Like it was rough. It was like 2 funerals a week. I was like, how many people do you know? This is crazy. They were dropping like flies. And that was the worst part too, is that when you go to a funeral with some of the same people every time, at a certain point you start to be like, which one of y'all is next? Like, this is getting uncomfortable. I was wearing my little suit out, okay? I remember there was one funeral in particular, one of the more rhythmic funerals that we had been to. Everyone sort of had this unspoken agreement that when we were doing the sort of funeral procession of viewing the body, it was like to the music, you know? You walk up, you get 8 bars to grieve, and then you move on, you know? And I remember it was my turn, which meant it was my grandma's turn. That'd be weird if I had a turn all by myself. That'd be insane. If an 8-year-old kid walks up to a casket by themselves at a funeral, they killed that person, all right? That's just an 8-year-old walking up to be like, just checking. And so I'm about to walk up with my grandma, but as we start walking, we notice that the lady that was still up there hasn't moved. So she's either still thinking or like overcome with emotion. Something's happening, right? So we just keep walking. We don't want to stop mid-aisle, and so we walk up next to her. So now it's this lady that I don't know, my grandma, and me. And I wouldn't look this up until years later because it gave me nightmares for a while, but I didn't really think to Google it yet. Apparently, long after the process has been done for a body to be presented at a funeral, there's still muscles, there's still nerves that can twitch, right? So as the 3 of us are standing there, the woman in the casket went. And even at 8 years old, I was like, hold it together. Hold it together, stay calm. Whatever you do, stay calm. Because look, I've been going to a lot of funerals, right? But even as an 8-year-old that's going to a lot of funerals, I still haven't fully conceptualized the idea of death, but I know what it's like to ruin a party, you know what I mean? So I was like, just calm down and hold together. I'm trying to center myself. And then the woman on the other side of my grandma goes, "What?" And for a reason I still don't understand, my grandma turned around to the whole rest of the congregation and was like, she moved. And everybody cleared out. We all walked out together. It took so long to calm everybody down. It took so long to get people to come back inside, sit down, chill out. Because there were people outside that were like, nah, I'm not going back in there. No, ain't no reason to grieve if she risen. I ain't playing with that. Y'all can do what you want, but if she up, she up. All right. In fact, she owed me a little something, so when you get in there, tell her that I want my 15 if this was just like a weekend she was playing Bernie. We get back inside, finally calmed down, finally finishing procession, viewing the body and everything. There was this one woman. I know I saw her, but I caught her because I was sitting second row and I was looking in between 2 people. This woman hesitant, and she was approaching the body, just, you know. And she went, wake up. And even as they were lowering her at the cemetery and they threw the dirt on her, part of me was like, we don't know. We have no idea. I think the other reason that I'm scared of getting older is that, like, we only really value youth, especially in America. You know, other cultures don't always have this problem, and we don't really value what comes with aging. You know, like the wisdom that you get, or the deep level of empathy, because you've now been alive long enough to make your own mistakes and have deep regrets. And so when someone does something to you, it's easier to forgive them potentially because you know what it's like to make a mistake. All that comes with getting older. All your hard work starts paying off when you get older. Everything you do today will you'll see the fruits of tomorrow, you know? But we still are like, nah, I want to be young. I want to look young. I want to feel young. Act young, whatever. I think the main reason I'm scared of getting older is I finally had a bad fall, and it was like I really felt like an old motherfucker too. It was I went down, like it was terrible. I've been talking all that good shit about Joe Biden this whole time, and then I hit the ground just like him. I was like, because this is the thing, I fought the fall. Like if I had just fallen like a young man, it would have been respectable. I would have tripped, people would understand it, everything. But I fought it all the way down. At one point, I was horizontal, just grabbing stuff like non-stop, to the point where I actually pulled stuff onto me when I landed. People who didn't know me were like, ooh, I fell so hard, I didn't let anybody help me up. I needed a second to gather myself. You know? There's a little bit more show left. I want to thank all y'all for coming out. My name is Josh Johnson. Have a great rest of the night. I appreciate you. What a month, you know? This is a lot has happened. Taylor Swift's album dropped. And OJ died. White women are having a month. This is... Wow, this month is for you specific. The two best things that could happen happened for you. Wow. You'd think this month was really named after a white woman named April. Like, incredible. Nah, Taylor Swift is breaking so many records. Like, I'm sure she's breaking them now as I'm speaking. She released her album, it hits 300 million streams in the first 12 hours. It's like never happened before, ever. And people are freaking out about reading into the lyrics of every song. There's like scavenger hunts, there's everything. And this is the thing for me with Taylor. A lot of people trash Taylor, and I don't know, I don't get it. If somebody likes something, let them have it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it brings people joy. It's not hurting anybody, except maybe Taylor's exes. It's hurting nobody. Like, people are having a good time and stuff. If anything, I hope it makes the world a bit more compassionate, you know? There are a lot of people that like Taylor, and the people that don't get it. But I hope that the people that like Taylor will be able to give some grace, because I think that Taylor Swift, she does for her fans what wrestling does for dudes. Do you know what I mean? Like, because if you're not a wrestling fan, you're like, what are they even doing? Why are they moving all stupid? It's just... But if you get it, you're in it. And you're like, you just don't get it. You weren't there, you know? But they're very similar, you know? If you don't like it, you don't get it. And you're like, who likes this? And it turns out the answer to both is millions of people. You know? Same way that there are a lot of little girls and young women out there that want to be Taylor Swift, or older women that see themselves in Taylor Swift. I think every man in here has looked at a wrestler and... Every man in here has watched some wrestling at some point and then walked away like, I wish somebody would f with me. Like, I wish... I would just... There are people that listen to Taylor Swift songs and feel it, like truly feel, like in their bones, you can tell they feel the song. It speaks to them in a deep way, and they've never been in a relationship at all. Like Taylor's describing her breakup in an exquisite fashion, but then a person who's never been through anything is like, oh my God, yes, yes. It's just like that time this other totally unrelated thing happened to me, yes. Same thing with wrestling, you know? Wrestling storylines will tear you up. You know? Like when a wrestler turns heel and he turns on all his friends. Guys watch that and we're like, just like Greg.
Triple H, he really evil. I didn't grow up with money. I think it's funny when people make a lot of money and they're known as new money, you know? And people how they feel how they feel about it. You know, like a lot of athletes are new money, a lot of entertainers are new money and everything. But nobody ever talks about new poor. We never talk about new poor, and we don't feel bad for new poor. A new money backstory is always inspiring. It's always like, I came from nothing, and I studied hard, and I played football to the best of my ability, and then I got a scholarship to a good school, a scout school. And then I played every day like the scout was there every day. I put my body on the line, and I still studied as hard as possible in case football didn't work out. But you know what? I had a great game in front of a scout. They brought me out. Next thing I know, I'm getting drafted. And now I'm one of the top earners in the NFL. We love a story like that because it felt like all you really needed was to do your best, and you could make something out of that. So we love new money. But nobody ever talks about new poor. Not only do we not talk about new poor, we don't really feel bad for new poor. Yeah, I mean, you ever hear a new poor story where it's like, oh, we've actually, as a family, we were kind of a dynasty. We were rich for 250 years because we owned a lot of farms. Yeah, we owned a lot of farms, and we were big in tobacco, and so as the farming industry lended itself to a more industrial tobacco industry, we profited, and it was my great-great-grandfather that actually sold his shares in the tobacco company, and he had other ventures that he wanted to go into, and he had some sons, but only one of the sons really had kids, and so all the wealth just kept getting consolidated. Less and less people had kids, so then it was all down to Trent. And Trent took some big swings with crypto, and it didn't go as planned. And so that's why Trent is working at this Piggly Wiggly. And why he's not a very good sweeper. He doesn't really understand the broom needs to touch the ground. He just... It is genuinely hilarious watching someone rich try to do a job. It's a little disheartening, but you're also like, look at him go. Oh, I remember my first experience with new poor was a kid in my neighborhood. I didn't always live at the best neighborhoods. I'll put it like that. And there was a kid when I was little that moved in, and you could tell he was new poor. We were playing. I think we were just playing in like this lot, and he walked up to us, and he had just moved in with his parents, and you could tell he was new poor because his name. You could tell he was new poor because his name was Thurston. And I remember when he said it, and there's a thing with kids where, for whatever reason, and it just is what it is. Sometimes kids take a certain shine to each other, or they don't like each other, or whatever. But we liked him as soon as we met him. We just really did, and he was so earnest. He's a sweet kid, and so we were just like,
You can play with us. We don't care. And we didn't even really have a concept of money in that way to look at him sideways, right? We were all just kids. But when he said that his name was Thurston, I was kind of like, ooh. That's the most punchable name I've ever heard in my life. So, look, I tell you what, we gonna call you 30. And if anybody asks why, just say you did something real bad 30 times. And so we used to love hanging out with 30. And 30 was new poor because his family had been rich for a long time. They probably owned a few farms. But 30's dad lost it all in the .com bubble. I don't know. Yeah, I guess if you don't know anything about it, back in the day when the internet was very new, a lot of companies were like adding these online sites to their brick and mortar stores, which was obviously super profitable for some businesses, and for some businesses it didn't matter at all because it was about the infrastructure of being able to send everything. But we didn't know that initially, so there were some companies whose stock price went up just because they had a website. And then it all came crashing down when people started looking for returns on these incredible stock prices, but most of these companies just had like a website with a broken link. And so, you couldn't pull your money out fast enough, and 30's dad didn't pull his money out at all. So they moved in next to us. We take walks and stuff. We like walk around neighborhood once in a while and everything. And there was a dog. There was a dog that was in the yard of one of our neighbors way down the street. And this dog was a big dog, and he had like a big thick collar, and he had a chain that he would wear, and the chain had some length to it, and the chain was around the tree. And 30, he hated it. He hated it every time he saw it. It made him sick that there was a dog that was outside chained up against a tree. It didn't matter how much room he had to run around and stuff. He just didn't like the concept. And he'd bring it up. Every time we passed by, he's like, they got that dog chained to the tree like some kind of animal. And I was like, yeah, 30. Crazy stuff. And look, I'm not even saying that is right. I'm just saying it was a very big dog. Like it was like every time 30 would like protest that he want to go over there, he's like, I just want to like let him free. You should be able to run around. I was like, all right, but okay, listen. At that house, they live with that dog. So they probably know something we don't. Maybe they tried the whole freedom thing out. Maybe they used to have 2 dogs. That's a big ass dog. Maybe I'm not saying you have to love it. I'm not saying it's not wrong. I'm just saying that they may have tried other things. Maybe they tried making them inside dog. Maybe they used to have more family members. So you see what I'm saying? And there was one day where we were walking down the street together, and he peeled off from us, and he did it without saying anything, because I knew that he knew if he said something, we would try to stop him. But he just started walking over towards that house, and I told him, I was like, hey, I'm pretty sure that's a dog from the Sandlot. So you really don't need to be playing games. Don't go over there, right? And then even as we saw him peel, we were like, 30, where you going? 30, what are you doing? 30. Started saying it slow like it was his real name. 30! Get back over here. And this kid climbed the fence, jumped over, and the dog is like laying down, but he's not asleep, but he's just sort of laying in the grass. And 30 jumped over the fence, ran over to the chain, and the chain had no lock. It was just wrapped. And so 30 pulled it a little bit, released the slack from the end of that chain,
and the whole chain just drops to the ground. And now the dog has not been moving. Dog's just sort of laying there. But the dog heard the chain drop, and he felt the slack release on his collar. And the dog turned around and looked at 30, and even the dog was like, "Are you sure?" You must be new poor. And so the dog turns around and he just, I don't know, just, you know, like when an animal is made of muscle? When they just have like phenomenal National Geographic level power. This dog whipped around and just started charging at 30, right? Now 30, in his very sweet mind, he thinks that this dog is bounding towards him for a hug. And so he actually starts to bend down and open his arms. He's just getting a wide stance. Now the dog, because the chain did have a ton of length to it. I want to be clear, this dog wasn't wrapped up against a tree like some Tom and Jerry cartoon. This dog actually was bounding for a while, and he was bounding so fast that like, it was either all 4 feet touching the ground or nothing. Like the dog was like this or it was like this. I've never seen a dog float like that. Like the dog is coming at him like a bullet. And from where we were standing, by the way, all of us had been yelling run. We've been yelling run since we saw that the chain had no lock on it. And so then you see 30, just arms open. But even he started to be like, huh. I've never seen this sort of reaction from a young pup before. And the dog is bounding towards him. And as it starts to really get close, 30 immediately just turns around and starts to run. But his wires are so crossed, he's still in the crab stance. So he's like, ah! And he grabs the fence and he climbs up the fence. He climbs up the fence so fast that he doesn't even try to get over the other side. He just slams to the ground on the other side. And he gets up and he dusts himself off. And he walks up to us. And I'm like, I told you that was the dog from The Sandlot. Why would you go over there? It's your new poor ass. Like, we're clearly having a rough time. A lot has already happened this year. January was full of enough stuff to fit a whole year, you know? And we're not okay. We put on a brave face, but we're not all right. Clearly, you can tell. That's a distraught laugh. It really is rough out here. Elmo asked us one question. It took nothing. Elmo just said, "How is everybody?" And the floodgates opened. As an internet user, I was embarrassed. The way that everybody just poured everything out to Elmo. If you didn't see it, Elmo tweeted, "Hey, just check it in. How is everybody?" And 185 million views. What, 1 million replies? I don't know how many replies. It was absolutely crazy. Everyone just told Elmo everything that was happening in the moment. There's no better indication that we need universal mental health care than everyone responding to Elmo like he was in the room. That's absolutely insane. I can't believe, poor Elmo. Elmo probably smoking a cigarette right now, trying to calm down after the horrific stuff.
Because some people were sending in video. Like, all he said was, how is everybody? And then people under him, right underneath, like, they found me guilty, dog. Like, that's insane. This is not real right now. Go seek real help. That's just crazy. I felt for Elmo in that moment. I really did. I have a lot of different feelings about this from a lot of different angles, but the first one is that I felt bad for Elmo. Elmo didn't know. That's why Elmo asked. You know? You ever been that person? You ever been asking somebody how they're doing and then they tell you? You trying to make polite conversation. We won't even see each other in 4 minutes. Just pass about how you doing. And then they're like, well, that's unacceptable. That is unacceptable social behavior. It's one thing if you say, you know, how you do it, and they say, well, and then they don't really want to get into it, and then you ask because you care, that's different, right? I'm not saying you can never tell people what's going on with you, but I'm saying we've all been that person. You in the break room at work. This is your break. This is the only time of day you get to yourself. You in the break room, and then somebody walk in, and you sitting there trying to eat your Hot Pocket, right? Trying to eat your Hot Pocket that you brought for lunch, and you just munching away, trying to have a good time, fighting to find something on YouTube just to get through the day. And then somebody walks in, your worst coworker, you know who they are, they walk in, and then they try to put something in the microwave, and they're pressing every button, just everything, putting it on potato, on popcorn, everything. And it's awkward, because it's only the two of you in the room. And so you go ahead and say, like, how you doing? Just throwing it out there just to kill some of the silence, because you couldn't get your earbuds in fast enough, right? And then they go, well... I think I married the wrong person. And you're like, oh, no! I'm eating my Hot Pocket. I'm not ready for this shit. What's wrong with you? Just open it up like, I think, you know, because it's like sometimes people grow apart. But also it's important to fight for what you love. You know, you gotta fight, but then when's the time to fight? Because like the kids love her. They love her. So if I lose her, I lose the kids. You know, even the dog loves her more. Maybe the dog loves her more because she doesn't do this. How about that? Maybe start there. Maybe the dog also is aware of who has the better vibes between the two of you. Oh no, man, I just feel like I'm married to my own casket. Oh, wow, that's rough. I got one more Hot Pocket if I can get past you real quick. No? How is everybody? Just Elmo asking, how is everybody? I mean, to be fair to us, I won't put it all on us. Some blame goes with Elmo, some of the blame goes with us. What a stupid question. Think about it. How is everybody is very much a 2012 question. Remember 2012? Remember Hope? Remember that? Remember back in 2012? 2012 was supposed to be the last year on Earth according to the Mayan calendar, and we were still twerking like nobody's business, dancing to that Savage song. Remember that? Yep, swing. Remember that song? We were all dancing, no care in the world. If Elmo had asked us then, we'd be like, hey, it's not all good, but it's not all bad. He decided till after global pandemic and election year, high inflation. How's everybody doing? Get the fuck out of here. What a lunatic. What an absolute tone-deaf fuck. How is everybody doing? You know what it feels like? You know your friendliest friend. Just your real sweetheart of a friend. Like you know they're a good person, but they're annoyingly good. Like y'all be out together. Y'all be out as a group together, hanging out. Maybe 5 of you, 6, 7, 8 of you. And then you shut down the bar. The bar closes. Now you stand outside the bar trying to decide, hey, should I go to another bar? Should I go get food or should I go home, right? And y'all are trying to make this decision as a slightly buzzed group of people. And then a guy from out of nowhere, from the darkness, from the night, a man from the shadows, will approach your group, right? And he doesn't look right. He doesn't look right. Everything is wrong. One arm is longer than the other. He doesn't carry his weight well. There's a lot happening. And then my man is just over here like walking up to y'all, and not walking up to y'all, really just slide to the,
How's everybody night going?
and then your friendliest friend, your sweetest, friendliest friend, this idiot, will be like, oh, we're pretty good. How are you? Why would you ask that? The answer will not be good. No matter what it is, he's not having a good night. Nobody moves like that. He's having a very particular life. How are you? That's the type of person that's gonna answer you in full, right? In full paragraphs, in a monologue. How are you?
Walk up. Well, I think I married the wrong person.
You see what I mean?
I just want to be like a fun guy. One of the reasons I'm not as fun is that I don't always understand or am caught up with trends. You know? Like being hip is what makes you fun to people who don't already know you. You got good clothes on, you know, stylish, whatever. I didn't know what Stanley's, I didn't know what Stanley's, when I found out about Stanley's, I thought white women had just got more into hockey, right? Like, I was like, why is everybody shitting on them for just doing what dudes do all the time? But then I found out that it was a cup, and it's just a cup for holding water, and then I got upset. Then I was furious. I was like, you got these women beating each other in the back of the head in Target for a cup to hold what? This is dystopian behavior. They out here fighting in Target like it's Mad Max Fury Road. It's so upsetting. It's really crazy. I don't know if you've seen the videos, but wow. This is truly wild. Starbucks, I think it was Starbucks made some sort of collaboration with Stanley, and they put it in Target for this pink Stanley. Now, the pink Stanley has fallen right out of the Barbie movie like a meteor to destroy the white community, all right? This is really bad. Because then when you see the video, and we've seen stuff like this, you've seen Black Friday videos, you've seen videos of people swinging on each other and everything. That's nothing new, really. But this is what bothered me, is that there's one video in particular where a guy tried to steal one. He wanted to steal one. He wanted one, right? This man tried to steal one. Remember that. The whole story for one, okay? This dude ran up and grabbed a box. Now, to be fair to everybody in the video, there's no way to know how many are in the box. He knows it's one, but it could be 36, right? He goes to run off with the box, and the whole video is just one woman's phone, and she's just going, "Stop him! Stop him! Stop him! Stop it!" And she really didn't need to yell anything because they were already on his ass. Like as soon as he peeled off, they were all behind him, and it was a swarm of white. I don't even know what you call this type of collection of white women. A bachelorette party of white women was chasing this man down, and they didn't just catch up to him. They grabbed him one limb at a time. Like this man was taken to the ground systematically. And then they look, I'm not saying at the end of the video they swarm him. I'm not saying they killed him, but you'd never see him again. All right, it's pretty jarring. Like they just swarm him, and his body just disappears. And I don't know which video y'all saw, but the one I saw, you hear him at the end of the video go, "Ah!" It's like, that might be a death rattle. They may have really got him. That sounds like the last noise a man make before he go. That was crazy. He wanted to steal one. And look, I get it. He's in the store. It's a crime. I understand. But you never have bystanders step in like that. Never see anything like that. For a cup. Never forget this is a cup. I don't even know does it hold more water than any cup? This is absolutely crazy. People are stealing them and selling them out of trunks. This is crack for white women. This is out of a trunk. I got the white, I got the pink, I got the blue. You like fuchsia? I can get you right. It's absolutely insane. Then turns out they're full of lead. We've been beating the shit out of each other for lead cups like it's the Industrial Revolution. Slapping it. I'm not gonna lie to you. This low-key feels like a power play by China. I think China was like, this is the year, 2024 is the year we take America down. No, I was very weirded out by it, but also if it makes you happy, it makes you happy. A part of me even was kind of excited when I saw all these videos, because I don't know, Stanley Cups, especially the pink ones, they're just Jordans for white women. Like this is the last time I see that type of behavior, just openly being robbed of your possessions. Speaking of Jordans, this blew my mind. There's a company that is letting people rent Jordans, like monthly. You can't afford the Jordans. You can rent it from us monthly for like $19.95 a month. It's one of the saddest things I've ever seen. It's like, if you're one of the people in here doing it, then I apologize, but I'm about to talk about you. This is truly insane. Like, you don't own it. What a great metaphor for being an American. It's like you don't own it, but you'll rent it because no one is gonna check if you own it. Like, to be fair, I've never looked at someone's gear and been like, but is it yours? It's never occurred to me. If you're wearing a hat, I assume that's your hat. I don't think that's on layaway. I think that's a hat you liked, and so you bought it, and you must own it, you know? But now, it's created this weird thing for me, because what's the system like if you don't pay? Like the Jordan repo. Because think about this, how are you supposed to know? Let's say you have been making your payments, you're a couple months behind on those Jordans. How are you supposed to know if you get repoed or regular robbed? Do you know what I mean? You turn down a dark corner and somebody like come about them Jordans and you're like, no, legally do I have to? I am excited, genuinely excited to my core, happy for all of my white friends, because it's coming. It's coming. Like it's almost, your New Year is almost here. Like pumpkin season is about to start. And yo, I've never seen white joy. Like, y'all love autumn so much. It's actually the only time that white people get together and just have love and white pride, and it's wholesome. You know what I mean? Any other time, you're like, oh no. But autumn, y'all get together and just, who would have known the thing that would capture the white mind would be leaves changing? That
I'm not gonna lie, that's y'all's hip hop. It really is. Like, yo, leaves changing. Y'all are like, hey, that red, go off, cuz. You know what I mean? Y'all are out there apple picking, throwing up gang signs. I've never seen anything like it. Y'all travel. It's autumn where you are, and you'll still travel to where there's better autumn. I've never seen. It's so sweet. It's genuine. Like I am like genuinely happy for white people when like pumpkins, because everybody makes their pumpkin jokes and like pumpkin latte, whatever. But like, let people have something. This isn't hurting anybody, and it makes white people so happy. This whole time, I thought money made white people happy. And no, it is something about Halloween that like, it's the sweetest. And wow, I thought I had white people figured out. And then as I got older, I was like, it's really autumn where that's where you see some of the least racism in all the country, because everybody too busy like, have you tried this pumpkin spice? My man, yeah, get him. This is my other thing. We don't give visionaries enough credit. We think we do, because I had a conversation with a friend. They said this quote and it stuck with me, where they was like, we only appreciate, visionaries by the time they close their eyes, right? Like we only appreciate visionaries after they're dead, And I was like, nah, we appreciate some of them, but most of them we never end up appreciating. Like we make a couple of them popular because it makes us feel smart, right? Like it makes us feel good to be like Ferdinand Magellan, whatever. And then sometimes we give people as visionaries that weren't visionaries at all. Then the real history comes out and we're like, we gave that dude a bunch of credit. He didn't really do anything. Yeah, I mean, like Columbus. How are we still teaching this? This is crazy. We're like, no, he discovered America. He got off the boat and was talking to everybody who was already there. Letting him know he discovered it. You know what I mean? That's how I discover stuff. I just roll up in somebody's house and I'm like, man, this is nice. I'm glad nobody's here. And they're like, excuse me, what are you doing in my house? I'm like, oh, who are you? It's like, I'm the owner of this house. That's debatable. Because what would a conversation between Columbus and the natives even gone like? He gets off the boat and he's like, what are y'all doing here? And like, we live here. He's like, oh, hell on that. Look, what do you mean you've been here for generations and generations and you have your own ecosystem and like war and like hierarchy? I just got here, so it's been discovered. And they're like, I don't really think it works like that, dude. And he's like, well, can y'all at least like, I got my boys on the boat. Can y'all at least just go in the woods so when they get off the boat it look like nobody here? Like they honestly came so far. They'll be really bummed out if they see you. It's gonna ruin everybody's day. Can you please just go in the, and they're like, no, we're not gonna do that. He's like, I get it. I guess we'll just kill everyone. I know the true part is the saddest part. I know. But it makes me wonder. It's like when you look at visionaries, there are people that we hold up as true beacons, right? That maybe they did some stuff, maybe they didn't. Like I think about with math. We talk about Pythagoras. You learn about him in school, and it makes us feel smart. Like, oh, Pythagoras with the triangles, and don't I know so much? And it's like, no, let's talk about real math. Who made real math? Who made math? We don't know. Who made real math? Somebody had to sit there and be like, this shit is 2. There's just something about it that feels... Yeah, I mean, something about it feel 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see it and it's like, I don't know, it's not... And then they were probably talking to a person. The person was like, what? Nigga, what the fuck is 2? And they were like, well, you know how you're you? Like, you're just you. And they were like, yeah? It's like, yeah, it's just you. So that's like 1 or something. And then this is like, I'm not you. I'm not you at all. I'm like me. So I'm also like a 1, I guess. But then us talking, that's like, that can't still be 1, right? It's gotta be something else. Like, we just give it a name. And he's like, but what the fuck made you say 2? Like, there's something you're stuck in between your teeth? Like, what made you say 2? He's like, I don't know, it just feels like 2. You know, it feels double of what? And they were like, nigga, what the fuck is double? You know? Like, I think about that with things get invented now, they get made now so quickly that it's skipping us. I don't, not only do I not know how my phone works, because of my phone, I don't need to know how things work. I no things anymore. Because I don't need to know anything. I was about to learn directions. I was so close. I really was. Like, I was, you know what I mean? I didn't have my first phone yet, and I was about to learn because I was like, I keep getting lost. I never make it home on time, and I don't have a car, so I'm just always on foot, which thank God, because if you drive in the wrong direction, you're never going to make it home. So I was like, I'm going to learn directions. Like, sooner or later, you need to know what west is. I had no idea what west was. Some people would say, go west. I was like, left or right? Don't hit me with all of this 4 stuff. You know what I mean? And then I got a phone, and on the phone was a compass. So now, I got Google Maps and a compass. I'll never be lost again. I'm good. You know, but it got me wondering, like, who made the compass? Like, we don't make it famous. Who made the compass? But, like, I'm sure there's an answer somewhere, but we don't talk about who made the compass, because that was also probably like a 2-type conversation. Somebody made a compass, and they were like, yeah, this will get you home. And they were like, what do you, it's just pointing, it's moving, it's just pointing random. How is that? That's confusing as hell. Is home this way or this way? Keep moving. Why is it moving if it's gonna help me get home? Is it magic? Are you a witch? Are you a witch? Because that's the other thing too. Up until a certain point, you really couldn't be smart without being accused of being a witch. We killed all the smart people. We wonder why people in the medieval times didn't have it better. It's because they murdered anyone with a good idea. If somebody was like, maybe we should wash our hands, it's like, that's a witch. That's a... Oh, get him quick. Get him, all right? And definitely, if you were a smart woman, you were gone. It was just fact. And so they gave him a compass, and he's like, what is it supposed to do? And it's like, it'll get you home. It knows where north is. How does it know? Well, it doesn't know. It uses magnetism. What the fuck is magnetism? It's like, just trust me. It'll point north. You'll be able to get home that way. Please trust me. You'll get home if you just follow it. Because that's the other problem, is that if you invent something, if you're a visionary, you have to make things for people who not only weren't able to make the thing, they might not understand the thing. When Ford was selling cars, right? He used to sell cars like door-to-door style, which had to be a motherfucker. Because then it's like you drove out here to sell the car, right? Even if you make the sale, now you like, bro, can I get a ride? But that's what would happen. Ford would make the sale, right? And the way that he would make the sale is he would teach people to drive. And when they saw how quickly they were getting places, how easy driving was, they bought the car, you know? Especially if he was going to like a wealthy or even like mid-level class farmer's house or something. Because they needed cars the most. You used to have to just... I don't know. Anyway. That much walking is just beyond me. Anyway. So he would sell the car, and he noted, it's like in his autobiography, not his autobiography, his biography and stuff, about how people were so unequipped for this new idea so deeply that when they were driving the car, instead of hitting the brake, because they didn't understand what brakes were yet, instead of hitting the brake, they would yell, whoa, in the car because they were only used to being on horses, right? Which must have been crazy, because imagine you in a like 1920s car, so already not a safe vehicle by the seatbelts hadn't been invented yet, and the motherfucker is speeding going, whoa! Whoa! You're like, actually, you need to step over there. You need to step.
No, I think about it a lot. How do you truly appreciate like a visionary? Usually we just let them cook. We don't kill them anymore. We don't, unless they're trying to promote peace, and then they gotta go. Those. Yeah. Don't be too good of a person. We'll get you. You know what I mean? But that's it. How do I put this? This is completely unrelated now. I'm moving on. So I don't want you to be confused with like, does this still mean something to the other thing? I don't know what I'm gonna do about it, but I think that my face is too friendly. It's really upsetting. Like, you don't understand. Like, I don't even mean to be this way, but I'm like, it's my attitude and it's my face. I just think it's too much. It's like I don't know. Everyone that sees me on the street is like, you want to talk? And it's like, and it's very jarring. It's like, some of you know what I'm talking about. Some of you have, some of y'all look, I can see good smiles in here. Some of y'all have that smile that makes people go, I can be a part of your day. And it's the last dude that just saw me, and I just walk around with a sort of half smile, because when I read about it when I was like in my early 20s, I was like reading this book, and it talked about how you should walk around with a half smile, so anytime someone needs a smile, you're halfway there, right? And so then I was like, yeah! And so I adopted it as a person, and so I'm walking around with this half smile. But if you half smile at crazy motherfuckers in New York, that is an invitation. It's not, but it is. They take it as one, even though they should. And so I was just walking, half smile, enjoying my day, enjoying life. And then a dude with just his feet were in buckets. All right? My man's shoes were buckets, okay? I don't even know if he had real shoes on in the but the bucket seemed taut. Like, it seemed like it was sticking to the foot. And he just walked up and he was like, "What's up, young brother?" Like, hey, what's up, man? What's up? How you doing? Because this is also like a black thing that a lot of people don't know about. When you're walking down the street and you see another black guy, the number of brothers he calls you is the situation that you're in. If he goes, "Hey, brother," that's just another black guy. If he's like, hey, brother," he needs something. If he goes, hey brother, that is drugs. That's drugs every time. No one needs you to call you brother that much unless they're your actual brother, okay? So I'm walking over and this man is like, hey brother. I'm like, I am in danger, okay? This is a lot, and I don't know if y'all like. I'm being real for a second. I don't know if y'all have ever felt this, but have you ever had somebody try to rob you before? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Did you feel it before they did anything? Were you like, oh, okay, he on some bullshit? Like this, you know what I mean? Okay. So this man walks up. He's called me brother 17 times in 6 bucket steps. So he is on one. My man is cooking. He is on one, right? And so he was, and then he walks up, and I can already see from the stance that he got the buckets ready to run in case he needed to run. Like, because he not standing just flat bucket. He got that tip. For those of y'all in the back that can't see, he got his foot like this. So when he need to go, he can go, right? So my man is like this with the bucket. The bucket's like sideways, you know what I mean? And so he's like, do you have the time? And I just looked at him and I was like, yeah, 4:22. And he looked so disappointed. He's like, who just knows the time, right? And I didn't know the time, I made it up. But it seemed like time wasn't really an issue for me.
And so then he was like, hey, wow, that was fast. You got a watch? And I was like, no, I just know that it's 4:22. And it's like, oh, did you just look at your phone or something? You got a phone? It's like, why would you ask me if I have a phone? Right? So that's when I knew he was going to try to rob me, right? And so then he's like, you got a phone or something? I was like, yeah, I have a phone. I looked at it 2 minutes ago when it was 4:20. So that's how I know it's 4:22 now. And he made this move. And this is the thing, it takes a crazy person or a brave person to try to rob bare-hand, right? You bare-handed and you bucket-footed. That's not a recipe for success. And so my man he's like this, and he's like, you got a phone or something? I was like, yeah, I have a phone, and looked at it 4:20, everything. And then he's like, give me the phone. And then when he reached and tried to say, give me the phone, he reached for my pockets, right? So he tried to reach for the pocket. I took a step back, and this is when you need shoes. My man started slipping on the bucket. So he's just doing this. He's just like slipping on buckets so hard. And I'm just backing away, but he's skating towards me on buckets. He like getting closer and closer on buckets. And so then I'm backing up and everything, and he's like, give me the phone, give me the phone! I was like, I'm not gonna give you my phone. And then he got, finally I had backed up into a wall, so now it's like fighting time, you know what I mean? And so now I'm in the wall, he keeps sliding up to me. He's like, give me the phone, I said give me the phone! And so I just pushed him. And the way he fell back, because basically, it was, okay, you know when Bambi's mom died? Like, you know how sad you felt? This man was trying to rob me, but it took him so long to slip on these buckets that I almost helped him. Like, it was like, because he was like, he was on his own footed roller coaster. And I almost reached my hand, and I was like, no, wait, this nigga tried to rob me. He deserves nothing. And then he fell back, and then I ran, which is crazy. How was he gonna catch up to me if it wasn't downhill? You know what I mean? You all were so great. Thank you so much. I'm Josh Shannon.